Greetings. Welcome back to the Blue Lounge. As you can see, I am not Mo Kazim. My name is Dennis P, otherwise known as a couch critic. And I'm taking over today, man. Finally got the credentials. Took over Mo. You won't be seeing Mo for quite some time, so get used to seeing this face. Get used to it, get acclimatized to it. So all you people in the chat right now saying big up Mo, I want to see big up couch critic. I want to say big up Dennis. Thank you for taking over because it's your show now. As always, I'm always just kidding around. Here we go. There's the man right there. Big Mo.
I'm back. You all got scared. Hey, listen, where's my camera gone? Where's my camera gone? my camera's gone. Damn it. Oh, listen, I'll be back in a second. I have to go fix my camera. Couch is overtaken. Couch is taking over.
I will kick him out once again. Here we go. This is who I really wanted to welcome to the stream anyways, my boy, MDT, the man with all the knowledge. You don't know. What's going on, MDT?
Up, coach. Big up.
Big up,
how are you
boy.
doing today?
Oh,
It's always nice to hear. It's always nice to hear you. Any space, man. You come there and you make us think. I'm like, why is he forcing me to think certain way? But it's
I appreciate
challenging
that. You did the same for me, man.
Yeah.
You did the same for me, so
Yeah.
it's a good space to be in. And I have
you
to bring
always
in
force
this
me.
other guy. Yeah, I have to bring in this other guy now. And he doesn't necessarily make you think. He just makes me angry, but I love him all the same. Big man Boogie. What's going on, King?
Yeah, how is you guys doing,
Yeah.
man?
Oh, we're here, man.
You guys taking
We're
over,
okay,
yeah?
We're doing okay. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, coach? Just if you have any family member in France or any French-speaking country, even in the Caribbean, time with them, they're too much. They're too much. They're controversial. Oh my God.
Yeah. No,
Even when they visit you, they can get you into trouble.
We're free spirits. There's a big difference.
Yo.
No,
Big
they
up.
say free spirit, they don't.
Hey, hold up.
How
Big
did
up
you
to
do that,
everyone.
man?
Big
I
up.
thought I was controlling these things.
Listen. We're all doing this. Listen. Big up to everyone. Guys, I was hacked by Couch, the Dennis, the menace. He hacked my stream. You guys, my stream has been hacked. Listen, I got to take this logo off.
Jesse Mark, good bridge, channel.
Big up to everyone. Big up to Couch. Big up to MDT. Big up to Boogeyman. Big up to the guys in the chat. I know Couch has already said big up to you guys, so we'll leave it at that. Tyrone, CC, Steven, Ali, Abdul, Luke, Brian, Sharmark, Wise Guy, Andon, Hudson, everyone. Big up to everyone. welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. Guys, I told you yesterday, we are doing some changes on the Blue Lounge. The guys you're seeing in front of you are no longer panelists. I don't have panelists on my Blue Lounge anymore. I have co-hosts. All right, I have co-hosts. We are going to try to give you the best content possible by being able to provide you a bigger and a better insight to what we think, what we believe, and what points we are trying to bring across. When we talk, we sometimes need some graphs, some videos, some clips, some pictures. And it's hard for me to be able to facilitate everyone's needs before the stream. And sometimes you need something there and then on the spot. And you have access to it. I can't find it for you. So if Couch wants to bring me statistics showing how good Lukaku is, he can go on there and bring them and stick them on the screen for you to have a look at. And if Boogeyman wants to say, nah, mate, I don't believe you, this is my stats, this is my data, and he can bring that and put it on the screen. Then MDT will say, look, all of you guys don't know what you're talking about. There's a youngster in the academy. He can do the best that that we need. And, this is the data. We will have all of that for you on the stream. All right, so I've given every one of my panelists the co-host function ability on the stream. So you will be getting a lot more better quality streams moving forward. We have some ideas. We were talking about some things backstage. We'll be doing a lot more. Bobby Smoke Signals is coming in. Big up to Bobby. How are you? How you doing, Bobby?
Hey guys,
Sorry,
I'm late.
mate?
I've just got in.
Bobby, you are way late, mate. Because I said 5 minutes before we start the stream, man. You guys have taken it. How was your day, mate? I hope it was good.
Yes, busy as always, but it's good to see you guys. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Look, today
It's a
we
new format. Cool.
It's a new format, Bobby. You have access to half of the features and half of the tools that I have access to. So be nice. I mean, I was trying to start the stream properly, and Couch Critic decided to hack it and take over, and he was running the stream for the first 10 minutes. I don't even know how he managed to switch off my camera and kick me off my own stream. So
be careful now. I might do it again. Be careful now.
It is where it is. I love you guys and I trust you guys, and that's why I'm giving access to all of this, and I think it will make for better entertainment for our viewers. Big up to everyone. Modam just came in. Mohammed Sharif, everyone. Big up to you. Listen, guys, we have a few topics. That we will be addressing in today's stream. All right. The topics are as follows. We'll be talking about Antonio Rudiger's possible departure because his contract situation has taken a few turns and twists over the past couple of days, and we'll be addressing that. We'll also be talking about Christensen because his situation seems to have gone pear-shaped over the past day or so. It was looking good, and then even Matt Law has come out and said things are not so good in the past hour or so. We're talking about Azpilicueta and Silva, their contract extension. Ross Barkley, he's been touted by a few clubs. Everton, Newcastle, we're talking about him. And Saúl Ñíguez, people are saying he's leaving. People are saying he's staying. We're going to find out what's going on. We'll be talking about him. And we'll be talking about other bits and bobs that are currently making the news in the world of Chelsea Football Club. So that's the program for today. We'll be streaming for about 2.5 hours, something like that. So go grab a snack, grab a drink, relax, chill out. And if you guys have a question that you want to post to us, you're welcome to do so in the chat. We may open up the stream at some point, so stick around for that. I want to see how many likes we've got so far, because I know you guys don't like to hit the like button straight away. You make it hard. You make me work for it. So let's just see how many likes we got. We got 26 likes, and we got about 30 people in the stream. So let's get that. All right, 27. Let's keep going. Let's get it up. Let's get it up to 50. Guys, everybody, welcome to the stream. And I'm getting some feedback from one of you guys. Does someone have YouTube on? Yeah, that was Couch. He's hacking my stream. He's destroying the audio. I don't know what he's doing.
Was it
No,
me?
no, it wasn't you. I apologize. It wasn't you. It might have been Boogeyman or MDT because they're on mute and I'm not hearing feedback. So it might have been them. Guys, if you want to address a question to one of the panelists, you can do so, and they will be able to answer it directly when they are speaking, because they will be able to see the question and they will be able to interact with you via the chat directly. So if you want to ask Boogeyman a question, Bobby, MDT, any one of the panelists, just hit us up with a question, and they will be addressing it when it's their time talking. Lads, let's get into it. Antonio Rudiger, his contract is yet to be signed. There doesn't seem to be any negotiation, any developments, any movement in his situation. As far as I'm aware, I've been reading, I've been checking. I haven't seen anything to suggest that this contract is getting signed anytime soon. He will be able to discuss terms with other clubs in about 6 weeks. He could be offered, and he will be offered, lucrative contracts via a number of clubs across Europe and even in the UK. He could be going to a rival club because we are not paying the 200 that he's asking for. Now, whatever way you look at it, whatever way you flip it, whatever way you try to dissect it, if he goes because we're not paying him 200, we're going to be paying a hell of a lot more to replace him. We will be losing one of the best defenders in world football today. If he moves. Because we haven't given him that contract. Now, if we offer him the contract and the man doesn't want to sign it, he wants to leave, I can understand that. And I will say to him what Steven is saying, buy Rudiger. I will say that to him. But he has indicated he wants to stay at Chelsea. He is happy to stay at Chelsea, provided he is given the money that he deserves. What is going on? And I want to hear from you guys what is going on. If you have insight, if you have an opinion, if you have some information, let us hear it, lads. Let us hear it. I'm going to start with MDT today. MDT, what's your thoughts on this situation, mate? MDT, there's no audio. There's only a crackling noise. I can't hear you. Try again. All right, MDT, I'll come back to you. Boogeyman, let me hear your thoughts on this.
I was reading one of the last Rudiger quote to The Guardian. The problem is I was trying to post it, but I think I have to do some more computational training or whatever that thing is. Anyways, in the quote, it says there was a talk between Marina and my agent. We have the situation where we are at now, and I have nothing to do with all the speculations. So I'm not too sure what Rudiger meant by we have the situation where we are at now, and I have nothing to do with all the speculation. Does that mean they are in the lock, or there are a lot of disagreement going on? Or
this you're referring to is for Christensen, not for Rudiger.
No, it's a Rudiger. Okay, I can just send you the link directly.
Hold on, Boogeyman. I've just checked the status. You are a co-host. It has been activated.
Oh yeah.
So why are you able to do it? Click on share. Click on share.
Copy. I did click on share. Oh, video file. But no. So I have to share my screen.
No, Yeah, you have to share a screen. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Not good. Screen sharing. Share screen work. Can you see it?
Not yet. Might take a second. Sorry.
So this is from November 7, so pretty recent. And the title was. Can you see it?
No, I can't see it. I can't see it. Talk us through it. Talk us through it. Oh, here it is. All right. There you go. That's it. What's happened there? No, you shared the wrong screen.
The wrong
there
screen?
we go. Yeah, click back on that. There you go. That's it.
So the title was Antonio Rudiger in advanced talk with Real Madrid as Chelsea as it nears, right? So then when you just have to scroll down a little, and it says the most important thing is that I feel happy here, and then the entire quote is here. And the part that I'm more interested on is there was a talk between Marina Granovkaia and my agent. We have the situation where we are at now, and I have nothing to do with all the speculation. So we have the situation where we are now. That's where I'm just wondering, what does that even mean exactly? We have the situation where it is now. Is that because Rudiger? Stop sharing on this one. Okay. Is that because there's a lot of disagreement? Rudiger wants something, and Chelsea won't give it to him, or they just say, okay, things are just going where they're supposed to go, and we're just waiting. I'm not too sure what did that mean. Are they reached an impasse? Are they reached some sort of deadlock, and nobody wants to budge from their position? I'm not too sure what is going on. Kodas is from the 7th of November.
Okay, that tells me that there is no progression whatsoever. Exactly. It tells me that the demand has been put by his agent. This is what we want, and there hasn't been any progression or any developments from Chelsea in respect to offering him a contract. That's what that stipulates to me. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, but when he said we have the situation at where it is now, and I have nothing to do with any speculation around. So, what exactly that mean? You have the situation where it is now. So we cannot. From that point, we can only speculate ourselves.
Where is the situation? I mean, we're listening to what journalists are talking about. For example, Matt Law. We were saying this yesterday. We're going to be talking about something that Matt Law said over the next couple of days, and we did it literally the next day. Matt Law said that it doesn't look like there is any progression in respect to negotiations with Rudiger. He's demanded, and that is it. Nothing has progressed, and he will be, he is likely to be leaving at the end of the season. That's what Matt Law just talked about today. So this article that you're showing from the 7th, it confirms that, because it says to me that there's no progression, there's no movement in the dialogue right now, and it refers to Marina Granovkaia, and that is a hot topic for me, and I'm going to bring in Bobby on this, because Marina Granovkaia, Bobby, yes, we've said that she is a key player or a key element when it comes to this type of work, but is she really the one who is driving the decision behind this contract, or whether or not he should be offered a contract of that value? Because if she is, and she isn't offering him a contract, that's a big problem. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Bobby?
Well, I guess anyone that pays any attention, and there are not many, to anything I say or anything I post, will know that I take no prisoners. I'm not into any of this sort of woke liberal nonsense. It's not how I see things. I see things in reality. I see things in truth. And I see things in square pegs in square holes and round pegs in round holes. Not trying to put square pegs into round holes for the sake of some crazy idea of fashion. There's a lot going on as far as Chelsea and transfers is concerned. I remember Julius alluding to it and pointing out how we kind of got lucky in the past few couple of years with some of the deals we've done. And outside that and in and around that, there's a whole load of mediocrity. And right now, the hesitation that I've always spoken about is showing itself in full, full bloom. I don't know what's going on. I hope eventually that Rudiger signs. I hope eventually Christensen signs. It makes no sense if they don't. The cost of replacements will be astronomical. And none of these players have actually shown, indicated, or even hinted that they want to leave the club. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's down to the board. Now, we have all these politically correct people who will always run and find any wishy-washy, silly excuse to promote Marina. Fine, if that's what rocks your boat.
Bobby,
fine.
I'm going to stop you for 1 second. Let's not protect anyone. Let's say it how it is. Let's say it how it is.
I always do. I get no flack for it, trust me.
I know, and that's what.
DMing me.
Bobby, you know what? Enough.
Pretense.
Hiding behind enough pretext, enough hiding.
Yeah.
Let's say it how it is. If Tony Rudiger, Christensen are not offered the contracts that they deserve. If they're offered the contracts that they deserve and they don't sign them, that's a different issue. But if they are not offered the contracts that they deserve, the contracts that they're asking for, and because of that, they leave and they move on. And we have messed up a great thing there. Who is to blame?
It's got to be Marina. You've got to. It's like with the football team. If they fail, the manager's head rolls.
Yeah.
If these two players leave this club, she's got to be held 100% accountable. 100%. She stepped into the kitchen. She's got to live with the fire. She's not performing as far as I'm concerned. There are too many lucky escapes. And this is a big one. Big one. You can't do this. She knows nothing about football. I'm even wondering if she listens to some of the football people around her, because I would be amazed if any of them tell them that Rudiger should go. I remember listening to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in the Lampard era, and he said something that I found very, very profound on Sky Sports. Lampard wasn't playing Rudiger then, and Jimmy said, "Look, Chelsea's best defender is Antonio Rudiger." And, he hadn't been on form. He wasn't being played. But Jimmy pointed out that's their best defender and he's on the bench. Football people know this.
Of course.
But I don't know. As you can tell, I'm very upset by it. I think it's been dragging for too long, as usual, as all definitely. Chelsea's dealings are with this so-called master negotiator. It lasts too long, too much hesitation. And eventually when we cross the line, it's either because we are lucky or Roman himself gets involved.
And he's done that a few times. And to be fair, he's done that a few times. And the person who has been credited with that, it wasn't him. It was
Marina.
Marina, yeah. Look, we have been saying it as it is, keeping it real. If a player underperforms, if a manager, if a director, if for us, end of the day, we are Chelsea fans. The club is number one. The team is number one. People come and go. The club stays, and we got to keep fighting for this. And I am borderline angry if these guys are out of the door without us fighting to keep them in the club, because they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They are performing on the pitch week in, week out. I don't, if we give them the contract and then they turn around and say no, that's not on us, that's on them. That's the point I want to reach. Max, I'll come back to you in a second. I want to say big up to you and welcome to the stream.
Hi.
I want to hear from Couch, and then I want to see if MDT's mic is working. Then I'm coming to you, Max. I'm coming to you. Big up to you, Max.
Okay, hi guys.
Hi. And Max, you have access to a lot of features. One note is you don't use them until you're actually speaking, because you can integrate them into your conversation rather than integrate them to somebody else's conversation, because that would get a little bit hairy at some point.
It'll probably be on the next stream. I need to give you a different
email address.
Yeah, because I didn't know you could only link it to your YouTube one or your Facebook one, so I didn't. I have to give you my YouTube one.
Max also had the same accent that I have.
Yes, he does. Yes,
I should have higher access than you.
You should have told me. I'll ask for something more than that.
Listen, I'm a professional.
I'm actually thinking about having a private conversation with Max to do some next level things, but we'll just keep it as this for now, and then we'll take it further. Couch. Let's get back to topic. Couch.
What is the topic? Is it Rudiger? Are we talking about Rudiger again?
No, we're talking about potentially losing one of the best defenders at our club, if not the best defender in the league. All right, because we are not offering him the contract that he deserves.
Right.
Now that is what I'm talking about right this minute. There's other topics, but right this minute, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm in on that, and I like that topic. I've covered it today at some length. But first of all, I have to address Redneck just to let him know that I stole his goldfish joke just because it's good. So take
Redneck, you have a link in your DM. I sent it to you a while ago. So if you want to jump on, you're welcome to do so, mate.
Yeah, so take pride in the fact that I'm using your jokes, man. It was a good one, and I agree with you 100%.
And he needs to come on and tell us why he calls himself Redneck.
Because he's from Texas.
He lives in the southwest of US.
And he's a redneck. Where could they be?
We need to look for a hillbilly next.
I think he's suitably titled redneck because he's also Russian.
Let's get back to Marina Granovkaia, Antonio Rudiger, and Chelsea.
Okay, I'm not going to touch the Marina thing because I think that Marina thing is more than just Marina. I think that is a committee. I think that the Chelsea board may take decisions together, and as much as I agree with Bobby, we shouldn't be pinning all the flowers to Marina when something gets done. At the same time, we shouldn't be tearing her down when something doesn't get done. I think it's the board, and we look at the board and the directors and the scouts and all those people responsible for making the decisions about who we want to keep at the club. Aside from that, I think that we should be looking at this whole thing from both perspectives. Like everyone's saying, well, why isn't Chelsea giving Rudiger this money? Why isn't he giving he deserves $250,000? I'm of the opinion, I agree. I think he deserves it. He's proven to me the last year and a half or bit that he's playing at a world-class level. But for me, I feel like something happened. Something deeper happened last year under Frank Lampard. Whatever it may be,
what was it?
I wish I knew. Unfortunately, I'm not privy to that information, but whatever it was has soured the relationship between Rudiger and the club and Rudiger and the board, wherever that may be. Tuchel's come in and done a good job of repairing the on-field relationship, and you're seeing that come out in Rudiger's performances. But in terms of what's happening behind the scenes, I feel like there's a major rift there. And as much as we know that Chelsea has offered him a contract, they said, here you go, this is what we have to offer you. I'm almost inclined to think that Rudiger is at the point right now, he's like, you know what? Take your contract and shove it, man. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I want to be at this club, there's a certain amount that I'm not going to accept. Like, after all the disrespect you gave me last year, after all this talk about trying to move me from the club, this is the number I want to make amends from all of the things that happened.
Couch, am I right in saying you think they're actually pushing him out of the door?
No, I don't think they're pushing him out of the door. I think what's happened is he's saying to them, if you don't meet these terms, this is what's going to make the situation that happened last year right. This is the number I need. If you can't meet these terms, January comes, I can negotiate with any club I want. And at that point, At that point, he could say, okay, well, Real Madrid's offering me 240. What do you want to offer me in return? And then the negotiation starts. So they're like, okay, well, here's what you want, because it's been a known fact that he wants to stay in London. He likes the club. He wants to stay in London. But the negotiation aspect, the fact that we're looking at the club saying, I only want to give you 140K, and then he's saying, well, I can go negotiate in the open market in January and, set the market value that way. If you want to come back after that and meet those numbers, then that's on you. But outside of that, I'm not budging off of these terms until I see what else is available to me.
So he's waiting for. So he ain't gonna sign nothing until January, purely for the fact that he will have more room to negotiate. He'll have better power to negotiate.
You know what? This is very true about free agency in any other sport, like hockey, basketball, all these sports. When you get to the point where you're unrestricted free agents, you're not going to sign a deal with your club, knowing that you can negotiate with a bunch of other clubs who can give you a way more different terms. So you're going to wait until see what. It's not that you're not going to negotiate with Chelsea at this point. You're going to wait and see what is being offered to you, so you can now leverage it against the club. And I think that's what's at play right now.
Yeah, I like that perspective. I like that perspective because it means he gave his demands. They weren't met by the club. He isn't closing the door on on the future with Chelsea. But at the same time, he's doing what's right by him. Fair point.
Yeah.
All
absolutely.
right. Yeah. No, I can see that. MDT, is your mic working now?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're back to old school. MDT.
Yeah, I was trying to improve the mic, but I think my son sabotaged me.
All right. Yeah, no, I think he's part of the couch critic crew of saboteurs today.
No, I think it's the boogeyman effect. I think he's listening to his French uncles. I'm gonna take that out of him.
All right, sweet. MDT, you've had some good arguments there by Couch, by Bobby, by Boogeyman. Where are you leaning? What's your thoughts?
To be honest with you, it's a little bit dicey because I've been saying this for a few weeks now. If Rudiger don't sign, because right now Rudiger or Christensen is in the hand of Marina now. It's not in the hand of anybody. She will decide their future at Chelsea. Whatever she thinks is best for the club or best for whatever, is up to her now. Everybody, she knows what she needs to do if she wants to keep them. So it's up to her whether those conditions you think is good for the club or not. But one thing again, the reason why I look at things in a holistic manner, because as much as I want us to keep Rudiger, and I know it will be a mistake, because one of the reasons why it will be a mistake is the amount of money we will spend to replace defenders.
Yes.
It's crazy. And that will stop us from improving any part of the team. Because you're talking about if we have to replace one defender, Chelsea have to budget 100 million. If it's two, it's minimum 150 to 200. And if we want a midfielder or a striker on that or whatever, that's crazy money. Okay, it will cost less to keep them both. So for me, that's how I see it. And with about Couch, the reason why I think it's risky for Chelsea, if Marina might be confident to say, oh, don't worry, I will offer them the money they want when January come or whatever, they will stay. Okay, and with that, I understand. If they sign after next year, it's cheaper for after January, February, it's cheaper for the club. Yeah, financially. But the risk with that the risk with that is, what about if they have better offers or they get pissed off because you've been messing them around? Sorry. You understand? So I understand where she is trying to save the club money, but I understand as well she is playing a risky game. Okay, because one thing about Chelsea fans don't understand this. Before Marina, we were spending a lot of money, wasting it. Okay, that's why she even got this to get to that stage. And also because of our stadium, now we were self-sufficient. We spend the money we earn. Okay, sponsorship-wise, we make same money as most of the top club in the world. But when it comes to stadium earning, we like 10th or below. We don't even compete with them because just the corporate seat alone, they all make more than us. Yes. Okay, that limits our spending capacity a little bit. Okay, that's why we rely on Cobham. If you check, Cobham has been the one that supplement our stadium in earnings. That's why Chelsea is selling talent from Cobham to supplement the money we lose from the stadium. Okay, so I see both sides. But if we lose them, it's going to cost us more money. And I remember when we lost...
Who's accountable? Who's accountable?
Well, if we lose them, you will have to point the finger at it depends. Because the offers they're asking for is not unreasonable. So if we lose them and we don't replace them adequately, obviously, it has to go to the person that was responsible with the negotiation. Because that means she would have had to spend more money, 10 times more, to bring in new players than to keep the players we already have. So that means she will take that blame. And especially if those players came in and they didn't do what these other ones were doing. That's even riskier. It's even worse. And if Chelsea fans can remember, William Gallas was in the same situation and with Chelsea. Because he signed a new contract, then Roman came in, he won a new contract and he wasn't happy. He threatened Mourinho's or whatever, they had issues. You remember when he threatened all that? And I was happy, I said, get rid of him. But he was part of the defense that won the league back-to-back. And we conceded only 15 goals the one season, the second season 20-something goals, which are still record both seasons. And when we lost William Gallas, we replaced him with Ashley Cole. Wonderful player, world class. But guess what? We didn't win a big trophy again until Ancelotti. Our defense was our strongest point on winning those 2 titles. And by us moving the one person out of that defense, United end up winning 3 titles. Yeah. Okay, so sometimes something that's not broken, don't fix it.
Sure.
Just try to sort it out. So for me, that's all I have to say with this, because I'm in a position where I hope Marina does the right thing, and I hope Rudiger and Christensen just be patient. But again, the human being, if I was in that situation, I don't know whether I would be patient.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Vednek, Alex, big up to you. I will come to you in 1 second. I'm just going to hear from Max, and then we'll get your take on this topic. Max, thanks for being patient. Let me hear your thoughts.
Right. Okay, first of all, I just want to say big up to Adil. He gave me a shout out. Big up to Thai Talks, and get well soon to one of our panelists. I saw that DJ Savin is very well at the moment.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's in bed with I hope it's not COVID. He says it's a cold or something. So I'm hoping that he gets better soon. We're thinking about you, guy. And so you're in our prayers, and hopefully you'll be back on the panel soon. Right, those formalities out of the way. The thing is, we don't know what's going on. Okay, we're getting snippets from the paper from both sides. So, does anyone know Rudiger personally? Out of all of us, we heard it from his. So what we're hearing is, Redneck says he knows him. so we're hearing different sides to the story. Okay, and we're hearing money bandied about as like 400,000, and sometimes it's 200,000, 300,000. I don't know because I said I'm not privy to any of this. For all you know, because I read these conflicting stories. Because once I read something that he wants to try another league before he's 29 now, and he wants to try a different experience. And so maybe he's got that in mind. Maybe he didn't have any intentions of signing a new contract. And as Couch Critic said earlier, sorry, has someone got an echo on there? There's some echoes going on.
I'm not hearing anything.
Sure he's on. Oh, right.
Somebody does, actually. I can hear echo too.
Yeah.
Okay. Can everybody please put the mic on mute while Max is talking?
Yeah. Oh, that's better, I think. Yeah, that's better. Right. So, what I'm saying is that still an echo. Yeah, what Couch Critic was saying as well. What happened? Maybe you said something happened between him and Frank Lampard, but I think if you remember the incident, you guys, I think Matt Law was the perpetrator, where he said that there was some sort of bullying going on within the club. And then all the fan base, not all of them, a lot of the fan base, he didn't know the facts. That's what I say. People who do not know the facts, they go on social media and they put him to be the villain. And so everyone said, "Oh, he was the one who got Frank Lampard out, and this and this and that." And then it was, there was a lot of bad blood. Remember when we won the Champions League? He said, "What you saying now, guys? What you saying now?" When he pointed at the cup, so he's got, so he remembers all that. When so and me included. Oh, so it's Mo. Mo was the one. Okay, yeah. So me included. I'm going to put my hand up for this one as well. I was having a go at this guy. I did a video once, and I apologize now because I actually called him a clown, and that was because of what happened after the West Ham game. Can you guys remember the West Ham game where we lost that game, where he showed Yarmolenko? Obviously, we know that he wants to cut in on his left, and the guy is showing him on the left side. And I was annoyed at the time. That's why you should never do videos when you're just after a loss, because you get really passionate and things. So, Mo, I think it's you. You probably have to go on mute, because when you went off on mute,
there's no echo on my end. I'm by myself. There's nothing here.
Yeah,
I'm hearing it too. Are you actually listening to the feed?
When you muted a minute ago, it was fine.
Yeah, I can hear the echo too.
Yeah, I think when you just muted a minute ago, it was okay.
Max, Karen, I'll check it for mine.
Yeah. So as I said, at that time, a lot of people were having a go at him, and as I said, me included, I put my hand up to that one on that one, and so. But I like to, when I critique, I like to critique fairly, I think, and that's just a rush of blood on that point. But most of the time, my critique on him has been fair. So what my point is anyway. So what he's saying, what I'm saying about him is that he doesn't owe us anything, does he? He's contracted to us. He doesn't owe us anything. All I'm interested in is when he's on the pitch, he gives his all, and that's what he's been doing. Even though all these contract things have been going on, his performances haven't dipped. He hasn't affected the performances, and he's still a standout performer. I want him to stay because what he gives us is leadership, and you can't buy leadership, And he gives us that nastiness about us because we didn't have any players. I love those players who just rubs other players up the wrong way and puts them off their game. I think in the last few years we've been a bit too nice. Since like Diego Costa has gone and people like that, we've just been too nice. So that's why I want him to stay within the club. And if you look at Christensen, have you discussed Christensen yet, or are you going to go on to him afterwards?
We'll go to him afterwards.
Okay, because there's something I want to address on the Christensen situation, but I'll do that afterwards. But as I said, my point is, I'm not putting any blame on anything. I'm not doing a blame game because I am not privy to any of the information. We only get what we're given, what we're fed. So I can't say, oh, it's Mourinho's fault, or it's Rudiger's fault, or it's this person's fault, or that person's fault, because as I said, I'm not in the room negotiating with him. But I hope it isn't a money thing. I hope it isn't a case of he'll be happy to take 250, but we want to give him 150 or something like that. I hope that isn't the case because he's worth at least 250 to 300,000 to us. And as MDT
costs us more than that.
Yeah, as MDT quite rightly said, if we get rid of him, and we're talking about 60, 70 million for De Ligt, a contract for 300,000 over a 5-year contract isn't going to be worth 70 million pounds. And plus, that's before wages are taken into consideration. So we can't, it's just like what's the saying? You save a penny and spend a pound or something like that. So it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, just with that, like, say for instance they did go for De Ligt or something like that. They might be saving money on the amortized fee depending on how the length of the contract, right? Because if they get him for, I don't know, the same sort of length as they did, say somebody like Kepa, 7-year deal for De Ligt, it might end up being amortized lower.
But the wages as well.
Yeah,
wages.
Well, it's all put in under the amortized.
Whichever way we spin it, Couch, it's going to be a lot more money than what we would pay.
But I'm talking about in terms of the long run, right? So you're talking if you get 7-8 years of him, and then you can amortize it after or even renegotiate after 2 years and then amortize it again and then amortize it again.
Yeah.
It brings the whole actual structure down. Whereas with Rudiger, you're not going to be able to bring that down anymore. And I agree with you. It's not going to be anywhere near the same amount of money, but it's something that they may be thinking of 10-year plan rather than 4-year plan, right?
Yeah, I understand that. I
agree though. I think he should stay.
Yeah. And I think it's going to make more sense when we talk about Christensen, because that's where we are having a big issue right now, the length of the contract, and MDT addressed that a few streams back. So we'll come back and talk about that in a second. Before I go to Alex, guys, 52 likes. What are you playing at? Come on, what's this? We've been streaming for 45 minutes. We've got 52 likes. Let's get to 100. Let's get them likes up. And if you're new to the Blue Lounge, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Alex, big up to you. Welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Oh, good. I've been on streams all day today.
I know.
All day. I was on Lewis stream, 10 o'clock in the morning. I literally just walked out of the doctor's appointment. Turns out I needed surgery,
wow,
which explains a lot. And
nothing major, I hope.
Well, depends. Like I need I have apparently I did not know. I have like a 90% hearing loss on my left ear.
Wow. Okay.
And my wife was like, "You've been yelling a lot," and I was like, "No, I'm not. I was just regular talking." And I was like, I was blaming on the Russian. Like, this is how Russian people talk. She's like, "No, that's not how Russian people talk." So she's like, let me make your appointment. So I went and got it, and turns out I'm pretty much deaf on left ear, so I'm gonna need to have a surgery. That's beside the point. So after that, it was like,
hopefully you get well soon, mate. Hopefully you get well soon.
Yeah, well, I'm not agreeing to surgery yet because apparently there's a side effects involved to it. So I'm gonna have to wait and pray about it first. So before I go under that. Anyway, back to the Chelsea and Rudiger thing. As like I said, this Rudiger debate is like so bent over completely. Like people can't sleep apparently about it. Like, I mean, like people need this. Like there's somebody said a long time ago, people need to stop comparing. Like there's one of a manager, but I don't remember who. He's like, everything I've done, it's already done. The rest of it up for the people with the money. And I don't know which coach said about Chelsea. Somebody.
It sounds like a Mourinho kind of quote, you know.
No, Mourinho always wants to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. There's somebody, some manager is. Sorry about Hazard. Sorry about the Hazard. He's like, okay. I did everything I could to like how you said what I think about the Hazard. The rest of it's not up to me, and it's up to the people in the office and the business. And I think Chelsea fans needs to stop making conclusions based on what they hear from the newspapers and everything. Because I think Max has hit it right on the head with that situation. We don't know what actually is going on over there. We really, really don't. I don't think people like the newspaper people think. If they knew it, they would say it, because that's how we hear it, completely different, like literally 360 degrees from or 150 degrees from each other's stories. Like one say 400, one say it's not about the money, another one, it's all speculations. What I do know, it's something happened between it, because the way Rudiger acted right after he scored the goal, we won the Championship League.
Sure.
I knew there's something personal there. And the way Rudiger is a personality, by 4 years I noticed about him, he guy that actually likes to prove the point. He's not back up person. He will like in your face, he will tell you what he thinks, you know what I'm saying? He's a strong character. We, like Max also said, we're missing that kind of player in the Chelsea team since Diego Costa. Has that little bit, like for me, it was the best moment when what's his face plays for Atletica, Suarez. If you remember, if you remember, him got into Suarez over there. And Rudiger's like, try to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got into his head. He got into his head. And Rudiger was like. Put him right where you can see Suarez back up off of it. You can.
He shut him down.
Yeah. I don't see that with Christensen to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't see with Christensen, and that will actually like we need that kind of. And I agree, he needs the race, and what the rest of it is, it's not up to me or not up to you. It's the money thing, and it's you got to look at the big picture. MDT brought the financial thing. We have one of the rich owners, but we're not one of the rich clubs as a clubs. So for me, who am I to gonna say like what we can afford, what we can't afford? Do I see the books? No, I don't see the books. So how I can say what we can afford, what we cannot? I see MDT's point. If we're gonna get rid of them, we definitely need to buy somebody. So I understand if like how you can 70 million player. If you're gonna buy a 70 million player, you can pretty much invest that 70 million into the player that we already have. What you don't know because he wasn't good before, he wasn't on the same level for all 4 years. Are you gonna give him a raise based on 1 year or based on 2 years? What kind of raise you gonna get him? It's a question. For me, it's more about what we don't know than what we know. That's the conclusion of it.
Yeah, no, you've raised some very valid points, and the flip side to that is right now, Tuchel really fancies Rudiger's playing style, his commitment. Rudiger's playing well in this system. When he was with Lampard, Rudiger, had ups and downs. I think he played well, but the system, the injuries, he fell out with Lampard pretty quickly. So, what does the club want to do? The long-term plan is where it comes in. I'm going to open it to a discussion for 20 minutes. But before I open it to discussion for 20 minutes, I want to introduce the Christensen story, because I think when we're going to be discussing Rudiger and his situation, a lot of the points that you'll be making will also have an effect in respect to the Rudiger story, Christensen story. I'm going to share with you a tweet. Give me a second, lads. Okay, so this is a tweet that I want to discuss. Apparently, this is from Telefootball, and it's been reported in the Fifth Stand app by Chelsea Football Club. I believe it says Chelsea believed that they had reached an agreement for Andreas Christensen to sign a 5-year deal. All right, only to be stunned, and he's saying, and they were saying only to be stunned that Christensen's camp proposed the length of the contract to be reduced to 3 years. So they had an agreement for him to sign a 5-year contract, but then Christensen's camp requested that it is to be reduced to 3 years. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because we actually talked about this a little while back, and MDT brought up a very good point, and he said, if Christensen signs a big contract now at his age, this really is possibly the biggest contract he's going to be signing, because he's 25, I believe, and if he signs another 5-year deal, that takes him to 30. That is his contract. That is it. He's done. But if he was to sign a 3-year contract, then it finishes when he's 28. He's still in the same situation that Rudiger is in today, and he's able to demand another high contract. And I think in a footballing sense, in a footballing mind sense, this makes total sense for Rudiger's agent, for Rudiger's camp, to be requesting this type of contract. Unless Chelsea were going to offer him a big contract with a review in 3 years and a clause for him to withdraw should he not want to continue. So
look at
this for me is where it stands right now in regards to Christensen. And
look at MDT smile, like I told you. Look how smart I am.
Yeah,
Look at that smile.
He's like, I'm glad Mokasim was listening when I was talking in that stream. For real.
I'm glad that Quazim didn't interrupt and during.
He tried. Go on, Bobby. Take it away, Bobby. The discussion is open. Anyone can jump in. Rudiger, Christensen, it's a fair game. Go on.
I think there's one major common denominator here. And I wouldn't have been trying to stress this point if not for the fact that this has been a selling point for a number of years now.
Yeah.
And so we've got ourselves in a position where we have to call upon accountability. And some guys, on the panel have done a good job of trying to sidestep this. But I won't do that. We have a situation where you see there's a limit to how much hard nose you can play in a situation that's about market forces and that's about fairness and acceptance of loyalty and also your value to the club and the club's success. You can't play these games. And if you try and play it, you might succeed for a short period of time. But after a while, people are going to call you out. They're going to be smarter than you. And this issue of Christensen, 5 years, 3 years, is an example. Now, we don't know whether it's true or not. I'll accept that. But what we do know is the facts. It's November, and both Christensen and Rudiger are yet to sign a contract. That is clear, and the time is ticking, which means something isn't quite right. That's a fact. So make it right. There are people that are accountable and people that are responsible to making this right. The longer you delay, the greater it's going to cost you, both financially and in terms of losing them, the consequences of losing them, which really we cannot afford. That's just the reality. The simple truth of the matter is, yes, a valid point was made. We have one of the richest owners, but we're not one of the richest clubs anymore because we now have clubs being owned by countries. But the good thing about Chelsea is that we have a crop of players that are quite loyal to the club. So instead of faffing about, just give them what they want. It's that simple. I really believe it is that simple. Sometimes you can overthink things. And when you overthink things, as we saw from the Champions League final, you know what can happen. I think we are overthinking Rudiger and Christensen, taking it for granted because of their loyalty and commitment to the club. That is a dangerous game, as MDT said. It's also a very foolish game. And it's also a game that if we lose, somebody has to be accountable.
I only will agree with you if we, for example, if he lives, if Rudiger lives, and we did not lose, and we're like still defensively stable, I don't see us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a loss.
And Bobby, one thing for me, sorry, I was talking on mute earlier. When you say give them what they want, we don't know what they want. Supposing, for instance, he's asking for 500 million and 500,000 a week. Do we just give him that because he's our best defender? We also need to be sensible when we're giving out money. Look at Barcelona are the prime example of what happens when you just pay players within it. They're now in a financial difficulty because they were giving people big contracts. So there is the books need balancing as well. There's a wage structure within the club, so we also got to abide by that as well.
I hear you. And by the way, the phrase you were looking for earlier was penny wise, pound foolish. If you have any semblance of intelligence whatsoever, if these players are asking for impossible terms, you make it known. So if you lose them, nobody's going to blame the club. What sense is there in hiding it? If you're hiding it, it means you've got something to hide. You see what I'm saying? If they are asking, for example, for 500,000 a week, that's unreasonable. You make it known. But I don't believe they are for 1 second. I just think somebody's trying to play smart, and they're going to be undone if they're not very careful.
Yeah. Guys, do you think it's gonna be down to that person? Because Bobby, for me, all I'm hearing is Marina this, Marina that.
Yeah.
When it comes to buying a player, when it comes to selling players, when it comes to contracts. Now, either, and again, if you guys have seen my my videos, I've always talked highly of Marina Granovkaia when it came to not last transfer window, the one before that, when we got Ziyech and Havertz and all those boys. I was really pleased with that.
She took over from Milano.
I was very, very upset with the previous windows when we had the Drinkwaters and the.
That was in Milano. Milano was his name. That was him.
Yeah, no, I'm just let me finish, Alex. We have started to improve. We need to address all aspects today. When we're talking about the contracts, we were talking about what should be offered, when it should be offered, why it's taken so long. And the name that's been brought up again, rightly or wrongly, is Marina Granovkaia. And in the articles that were published today, Marina Granovkaia and Christensen's camp. Marina Granovkaia and the one that Boogeyman showed us, and Rudiger's camp. So she's been mentioned there. She's the one that is taking ownership of that. Now, if this doesn't happen, that's a big problem, because it is centralized. It's not like it's a random thing, where there's like a 13 or 14 or 15 or 20-man team doing this. It's a one-woman team, apparently, who is in charge of making the decision. Maybe when it comes to the actual blueprint and the actual contract, there's a few people on that. But when it comes to the decision of what to offer the person, it's down to her. So I'm concerned. Go on.
Can I hop on this just quickly, and then I'll back off completely?
Sure. Sure.
If you remember, if you look at some streams ago, I've come under a lot of flack for this woman. And back then, I was saying, stop pushing this woman forward, because when it comes to it, she is going to take the bullet. And they kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing because of this fashionable thing out there. Now, okay, fine, you've got her. She's out there. She's got to be accountable. If we lose these guys, there's no way the defense is going to be stable. Let's not be silly. It's not happening. Those are
spine players in
Bobby.
The defense. Spine players, yeah.
Exactly.
Spine players.
So there's going to be a rebuilding going on, which could rock the success of the club. So
I completely
now
disagree with
pushed her
that.
forward. She has to be accountable. And coming back to Drinkwater, Zappacosta, and so on, it wasn't Emanalo. I don't know why they always blame this poor man that did so much for this club. Marina bought those players. She bought them during the Conte era, 2017.
She doesn't buy the players, Bobby.
Well,
I'm not sure what you got against this.
Exactly.
She doesn't buy the players.
She doesn't.
She
She's
does
the
the
director.
negotiations.
She's the
She does the
director.
negotiations. She's presented with the players, then she does the negotiations.
Okay.
It's not her who buys the players.
However we want to put it. However we want to put it. However,
And can we just address the Zappacostas and the Didier Drogba's of this world? Okay, what you guys got to remember is before this rule came in with the loan system thing, we were buying these players not for the first team. We were buying them to loan out, get a loan fee, and then we were going to get money back for them. Didier Drogba, we made a profit on him. I'm not sure why everyone's going on about Didier Drogba. We bought him for about 4 million, or we got him 2 loans, and we sold him for about 8 million. I don't know how, but we doubled our money on Didier Drogba.
Did anyone actually mention him?
No. I'm just.
Yes, I mentioned it in the recent
debate
on
it. It's things like that. Even Zappacosta, we've got our money back on Zappacosta through loan fees and so on. The only ones that we didn't, Danny Drinkwater, I'm not sure who got him into the club. Even if we look at what's his name, Bakayoko.
Danny Drinkwater, sorry Max, Danny Drinkwater was brought in for the homegrown quarter.
Yeah, and it was a panic buy. That was a bit of a mistake.
Max,
Even
Max,
Bakayoko,
Max,
we've made our money back on him. Yeah.
Let me just interject for a second. Players were bought for a reason, whatever that was. For squad depth, for quarter, for a loan army. Everyone was bought for a reason. But, they could have bought other players. They could have bought better players. They could have bought cheaper players. They could have bought more expensive players. I mean, I don't want to go back to each individual and discuss their situation because we'll be here all night. The thing is this. Whether it is Marina or isn't Marina, for me, it is not the point. The point is that is the person. That is the name we hang every good thing on, and that is the name we avoid to point the finger at when something goes wrong.
Not
Okay,
me.
so that shouldn't be the case.
Not me.
No,
either.
that's not me. Not me. Because at the end of the day, there's two extremes. Some people say, "Oh yeah, another Marina masterclass and everything else." When things go right, with me, she's there to do her job. Okay. Sometimes I think she is a bit too hard. Even some of the loans. That's why we tend to get a few people who were loaned out because she wanted too much of a loan fee, and the clubs weren't willing to play them. So we're stuck with some players that we shouldn't have had. So she is a tough negotiator as well, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm not going to be there saying that she's useless or doing whatever. But I'm not going to be putting her on a pedestal neither. I just want her to do her job.
Max, I'm
in the
completely
same
with you.
boat.
One second, Alex. Go on, Couch.
Yeah, no, I'm in the exact same boat as Max. Really, I don't. We can claim to understand the hierarchy of the club, but I mean, do we really know who's making these decisions? I don't know. I'm of the opinion that it's more of a committee. And by the same token, isn't this the exact same thing that happened to Emanalo? Like when Jose Mourinho was fired, everyone was like, Emanalo, it was his fault. A guy even wrote a book on it. Like he called it palpable discord and stuff like that. These are and blamed Emanalo for the sacking of Jose Mourinho. Like these.
I think the difference was that Emanalo never got credit for anything, whereas at least
he
she
did get
gets
credit for the
something.
Belgian.
He's a great scout. He's a bad technical director. He's a great scout, and when he got promoted, that's when things went down.
I don't think that he's a bad technical director either, because most of what he did as a technical director built the foundation for Chelsea. You're talking about the Kevin De Bruyne's, you're talking about the Hazards, you're talking about like even going after Neymar and all this. That was all his doing. So regardless, he gets hung for the fact that the things that go wrong at the club, nobody wanted to hold him accountable, wanted somebody to hold accountable, and because he was the one that was put in front of the camera on Chelsea TV to say, yeah, we're sacking Jose Mourinho, everyone assumed that it was him that was responsible for it. I don't necessarily do that, and I still don't do that now with Marina. I don't think that she's the end all and be all for all these negotiations that we're seeing at the club right now. But again, that's me.
All right. Listen, I want to add something. I want to add something to this. I'll let you go in first, Boogie. But I want to add something to this. Do you guys think that Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta's contracts are done and dusted? They will automatically sign a 1-year extension and remain. So please include that in your comment. So Boogeyman, let me hear your thoughts.
Listen, pretty much on Christensen and Rudiger. I'm sitting in the middle. I have a dividing opinion when it comes to both players. But I try to just quote the player themselves, what they're saying. And I'm not too sure. Like, I was listening to Couch, and then I'm like, so you think Rudiger is playing really good this season, smiling on the pitch just to rub it in our face, say, okay, anyways, I'm not going to sign anyways, but I'm going to play good and walk away. Do you think he's doing? I'm not questioning what
he
you say.
enjoys his football. It's not like when you're on the pitch, you're not necessarily thinking about your contract. I wouldn't say, right? You're just enjoying your football. So that's his personality on the pitch.
Yeah, but good. But so when he says stuff like, let me just read the quote again. It says, the war talk between Marina and my agent. We have the situation where we are now, and I have nothing to do with all the speculation. So when he said I have nothing to do with all the speculation, it's not me holding the contract. Is that what he? I think that's what he meant. It's not me holding the contract. All the speculation? If you want to blame someone, blame the club. I think that's my interpretation. Someone else may just say.
So, Boogeyman, is the quotation marks including the Marina reference?
Yeah. In fact, I can share it again because you show me how to do it anyway. So I can do it again.
I could say this, and again, this could just be speculation as well, but we all know Matt Law is the guy that's like leaking this information about the contract, and I know he's probably getting one-sided information because for a fact he's not
Can
getting
you
any
see it?
information
Let me
from
just.
Rudiger's camp. There's
That's the
no
coach.
chance.
That's the
Actually,
coach. Right?
Couch is speaking a lot of sense
That's the
about
coach,
this.
right? So he said.
I'm not seeing it on the screen, Boogie. I'm not seeing it on the screen.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, man. I think I was a little share.
Click on your background and it will come up. Or click on the actual thing you're trying to show after you've
What is
pressed
this?
share.
It's like
You
what
gave
my
him a lesson
grandma
and he
used an
still doesn't know how
iPad.
to do it.
Yeah, now click on it, Boogie.
So you need to take away his access. Take away his access. He's not very
No,
good.
no, not yet.
Everybody knows how to use it.
I'm gonna do it for you, Boogie. There we go.
Can you see it?
I can see it now. I
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
Now remove all the Pornhub things.
Yeah, I have kid around me, man. Can you not talk about? No, I'm joking. Yeah. Okay, so when he said there was talk between Marina Granovkaia and my agent, we have the situation where we are now, and have nothing to do with all the speculation. So we have the situation where it is now, but me, I have nothing to do with all you saying. Like if the contract is stuck, it's not me. If that's his message, then I mean, listen. I can only say the club is doing something wrong in this negotiation.
I wouldn't say that you're wrong there because, like I was saying before, and I don't know if you heard it.
Or the club is holding up something.
I am sure that any information that Matt Law gets about Rudiger is not coming from Rudiger's camp because they have no relationship whatsoever.
No,
So what I'm saying is anything that he is getting is he's getting from the club specifically. So, he wants this amount. He doesn't want to sign for less than this. That's coming from the club for me. That's not coming from. He's not getting both sides of the story, and that's the problem with these stories. Like more often than not, journalists will go and research both sides. He's not privy to the other side on this one, so he's only giving us the club perspective on this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand it. So that means the club is holding up to this debate, right? It's the one holding up on the contract. Rudiger is ready to sign.
It just means to me that the information that we're getting is one-sided right now.
No, but I just quote Rudiger.
This is the Rudiger statement.
The other side.
No, but this
You
is Rudiger
say you
statement.
just say Matt Law is the other side.
Right.
So
No,
if Matt Law,
I'm saying
and
the
Rudiger-
information we're giving is from Matt Law. And Matt Law is only giving us one side of the story because he can only
Which is
speak
from the
to
club side.
Exactly.
and the Rudiger side said we met with Marina, and whatever you guys heard now doesn't come from me, and I have nothing to do with it. So meaning, I pretty much made my point clear.
That
and
article is not from Matt Law. What Boogeyman's saying.
Yeah, but they're basically quoting the same information, right?
Listen, I'm not sure. I will just pass on this one. When it comes to Christensen also is playing Rudiger game. Like he said something. I'm right now on Chelsea website when he said there's no bad relation. There's nothing, and I don't know. He said I'm a player who right now enjoy playing football for Chelsea, and I have a coach that show confidence in me. And I do not think about it at all. I enjoy my football. So they're all playing the same game pretty much. I'm not sure.
I'll tell you, Boogeyman, I'll tell you something. Couch critic hit the nail on the head. They're all stolen for January. Come January, they're going to be getting offers on the table. And they'll tell them and say, Marina, look, 175. Bayern Munich. 250. Real Madrid, wherever, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, whoever.
Don't we already
And
know
Marina is going to be like, here's your flight
already
ticket.
know that? Why
Bye-bye.
But
Go.
why is she waiting till then?
Yeah, don't we already know
that's
that?
The
We
mistake.
already knew
That's
it.
the mistake. That's the mistake. That
We know Real Madrid, Ancelotti.
Why are you
would pay.
asking Marina? Why you didn't ask Lampard when Lampard was in charge and got to this point in the first place?
Lampard's
because
not here. That era's gone.
Lampard's
We're dealing
situation
with
is
the now.
finished.
I
It's
know a
finished.
year's gone, but that's why we're in this situation in the first place.
What do you
there's
want?
nothing
That's
we
what
can do about that.
you negotiate.
do something
You
about it
negotiate
now.
the contracts, not in the last year before that. Rudiger was put on the market for sale last year because of Lampard.
Yeah, but under Lampard, right? Lampard is gone, man. Like,
Yeah,
you
but
need
how
to-
do we
I know.
Listen, how do we know that it's not? Because everyone's assuming that it's a club who's stored in. How do you know it's the players who's saying, "Hold on, I want to weigh up my options and make a decision"? You know, they're within their rights to do that. Yeah,
Yes,
we can't
Max,
just say it's the club's fault.
Both,
We don't know.
both,
We don't know what the players
both,
are
are
saying.
correct. Both are right. Both are right. You see, the thing is this: because the clubs haven't completed it by this point, they have put themselves in a position where they've given the players the power to take advantage of the situation.
Exactly.
You see, what Alex is saying, I disagree with, but at the same time, I agree with. You see,
No,
Alex is saying,
he's right. No.
Alex is saying this is something we should have dealt with earlier, and I agree. But earlier, at that point in time, the club wanted to get rid of Rudiger, and that is why he was celebrating the way he
exactly.
celebrated, and that's why. So you know, there was a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors. Factors that are player oriented, that are club oriented. But we are here today. How do we solve this issue?
Yeah, that's right. Because what Alex said is perfectly right. Because different managers have different players. You take the Ziyech situation for now. Ziyech said he came to play under Lampard. Okay, now Lampard's gone. We're playing in a different way, which is he's not comfortable playing in. And so he's probably looking to leave. If he's not going to be getting the opportunities, he may be the next one out the door. So the fact that the Lampard left when he did, that's why we didn't renew the contract of Rudiger, because of the uncertainty of it all. So we can't just go and start blaming the club now because we've got a new manager in. And because I tell you what, last season, if anyone said Rudiger's leaving, I bet a lot of us would have said, "Oh yeah, he can go." Me included. Yeah. I wouldn't have been bothered if he went last season because he wasn't really putting up any trees. But now you've seen him with a new manager. You can see what he can do under Tuchel. He's all of a sudden he's one of our most important
and
players.
Marina is the bad person.
Why is she a bad person?
No, what I'm saying, and now you can blame Marina, even though you put her in this situation in the first place. Do you think she will have a better hand last season to talk about money?
We don't know.
I think really, Marina, to be honest, is irrelevant. The only reason we're
well, not
bringing
what
her
the way
in
you commented
is
for
because
past
of-
5 minutes. She wasn't.
I brought it up because of the people that keep pushing and peddling and placing this woman on some kind of stupid pedestal. It's unrealistic. It's unnecessary, and it's just counterproductive. The better she just stays in the background and does her job, the better for her as a person, and indeed for the club as a whole, so we can just focus on business. So really, she's irrelevant. The issue is
She's
that
really not, because we spend
if she's
money.
relevant, then let her be accountable. You're double talking. 1
Okay.
minute, no, it's not her. Then minute it's her. Okay, if it's her, then she's accountable. I'm doing
Okay,
what you guys are
what
saying.
accountable about what?
If these guys have not signed the contract to this point, this season, if you're saying she's relevant, then I'm saying she's accountable.
Okay.
She's accountable.
Okay, I will ask you a question. It's like a playing poker, literally like playing poker. Before the final card is open, if you did not bet on it before the last card open, you have less chance. If Lampard did not said Rudiger is irrelevant in my club, Maria will have a better hand and better to re-sign him and give him a better contract.
Yeah,
But in
exactly.
fact, hold on, can I finish?
One second, Bobby.
Well-
Bobby. Go on, Alex. Carry on.
But if what Lampard did and hold on a second, not only club, even Rudiger did, because he wasn't performing like that then either. So both of them, it's on Lampard and Rudiger. Both of them did not provide the best hand for Maria to deal with the situation. So
Okay.
it's a less dig. She cannot.
We're making excuses.
Bobby,
Well, it's you look at this way, I'm looking different.
One second, Alex.
Bobby.
You see, the thing is this. One second. When you're playing poker, and then you have all the cards turned over, then the hand that you thought you might have had, they may have had is irrelevant unless you're bluffing or unless you have the strongest hand. Now, the strongest hand, once all the cards are turned over, is going to be Rudiger's hand, because he is the one that is getting the offers. Okay, unless Marina thinks no one is going to offer him anything, and then he's going to have to sign whatever contract that she's going to be offering, then she has the strongest hand, and that is not going to be the case. I'm going to bring in
one little quid.
Sure.
As the people keep forgetting, the really big situation in this. Rudiger plays really well under Tuchel.
Yes.
Do Chelsea has experience of managers to be long? What if Tuchel get fired? What are we gonna do with Rudiger?
Good point.
If he's not playing under new manager.
Good point.
So get rid of him and collapse the defense.
But right now,
this is not
exactly. Go on, Bobby. Go on. Answer it. Go on, Bobby.
The issue here is we're talking of a time where Rudiger was actually injured quite a bit during the Lampard era, and his form wasn't good when Lampard put him on to play because he was still coming back from injury. Now, honesty, I mean, why do you need to play poker? You're trying to do a deal.
Play
Sometimes
football.
honesty is the best way forward. You tell the guy, look, the former manager, this is what he said of you. We were going by the manager. That's gone. We've got a new manager, and this is what you're doing. This is what we want to give you. Now, you throw that back at him. If he turns around and says, oh, I'd rather wait until January, then why keep it a secret? Let it know that that's what he wants to do.
Because it's a business. It's not a home. It's not a home.
Didn't they do that with Hazard? Everybody knew Hazard was going to go to Madrid.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
So who do you think leaked the Madrid story?
Listen, the only time that Hazard said it after we won the Europa League, that's when he said that it was a worst kept secret, but nothing was revealed by the club. The club didn't say that he had left.
The
was going to leave.
Is worst kept secret.
No, but the club didn't leak that he was leaving. Did they? They didn't say that, because you see that in press conferences all the time. You ask about this player or that player. How many times do they say, yeah, we're going to go for this? They said, no, we don't comment on transfer speculation. If Thomas Tuchel he's been asked about contract situations, he doesn't comment. It's club policy not to comment on negotiations.
All right, hold on. I want to hear from MDT, then from Boogeyman. Because they'll be waiting. MDT, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, this contracting, like Crouch, Dennis was saying, like Matt Law, every club, they have few journalists that will represent what they think will be a PR for them. So every club have it. If they're negotiating with the player or they have issue with the player, for them to get to the fans, to win the PR, whatever, they have journalists. Manchester United have them. All the clubs have them. Chelsea, Matt Law. That's the guy that always will come from the point of the club. That's normal. I don't have anything against that. That's fine. That's every business does that. And secondly, like with Rudiger, like with Christensen issue here, these journalists that are going peddling this, they should give the Blue Lounge a credit, because I said this here. Because when I said it, I'm not gonna say how I knew, but I said it here. Isn't it? It's almost a month ago I said it. 3 weeks ago? Okay. So this is that's how negotiation is done. So I don't understand why, if the club say they didn't see this coming, they must be crazy, because they have over 30 policy. So any player will negotiate this way. So he's within his right. I support him to do it. I love Chelsea, but I'm a human being first. Okay. With this... With this Marina stuff about the contract or whatever, yes. When we were on our way to win the Europa League, Rudiger have a knee ligament damage. That's minimum 6 to 9 months out. Yes, it was a risk for Chelsea. But Chelsea started negotiating with him, and Loftus Cheek as well have an injury, remember, with Callum on that run. It was the same UEFA Sarri season. All three of them had a career-threatening injury. Okay, but Chelsea was negotiating. Chelsea opened negotiation with Rudiger and Rubin and Christensen. But Sarri left. Lampard came in. Rudiger was still rehabilitating. Sorry. It took that long. By the time Rudiger get back, I think it was the Wolves game, his first game. He played for Chelsea. And then after 60 minutes, he was injured again, isn't it? He kept missing games or whatever. So although the club opened negotiating with him then, Rudiger was in a weaker position. The club was. But Lampard's second season, negotiations stopped. The club put it on hold until the summer. So whatever the reason was, that's past now. Okay, that's past now. So whatever. So we should always look back. Say yes, the manager didn't have faith in you. Obviously, the club will back the manager, which is normal. I will not blame the club for that. Okay, I will not blame whatever. But one thing I would say Marina should have done, even if you extend Rudiger for 1 year or 2 years, you could always sell him to make money. Okay, but
yes.
That's one side I would say, you know what, it's crazy what they did, because Chelsea will always increase it by a year or two and say, you know what, because we'll always sell you and make our money back or loan you out. Okay, but for them to put it on hold and Matlo to come up with that story and then they involve Tammy in it, and I know, I don't want to go into detail, but I know what exactly happened and what reaction certain people did, and Tammy feel bad till today, because he was dragged into something that he didn't even think it was that big deal. Somebody just asked him something, he was being stupid, and he said, yeah, and that became a headline, and he was trapped. And they look at Rudiger as a big brother. Him, Callum, Mount, all of them. And it became awkward in that dressing room. That's what people fail to understand. But I blame, it was a setup by the management. They set Rudiger up, and Tammy fall for it. They only managed to use Tammy. So that's all a past. But there are a lot of things that happen beneath, we don't know. Matlo only said one side of the story, that the management want him to publish to the fans, and they're getting angry. But the players, they were disappointed. Even the Tamori story or whatever, it was leaked through the management. Okay, that was unnecessary. A lot of people were betrayed. Okay, but I blame, well, when the management is making mistake, who do you blame? It's the people that are in charge of the management. They should have called everybody in, tell the manager, say, hang on, these people are our asset. By you doing this, you're devaluing them. Okay? Can it stop? So that's why I will be siding with Bobby a little bit to say Marina is the boss. Should have nipped this in the bud to say he shouldn't have come into tabloid or whatever. Call the management in. That's true. Okay? And then I will blame Rudiger as well to say, you know what? When you're not fit, even if a manager wants to play you, don't. I know whatever. But the thing is, nowadays football, if you don't play well, they don't care whether you're injured or whatever. As soon as you step on the pitch, they want you to perform 100%. So I will blame Rudiger in that aspect. Should have told the manager the manager that I don't feel like I'm 100% yet. Okay, so I don't know, but because nowadays if you go on the pitch, you don't perform 100. Then before they will say, "Oh, he's grafting. He tried it. He's sacrificing himself for the team." But things have changed now. Now if you go on the pitch, whether you 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, people don't care.
Well, can I ask?
They want you to play.
Can I ask you a question? We've all here sort of analysed this situation, spoken about it back and front, spoken about Marina, Lampard and everything, and it's all good. But I like to look at solutions. What do we do now? What do you think should happen now?
I agree with you. Yeah, this is where the other place where I agree with you. Right now, it's up to Marina whether these people stay or not. She knows everything. It's up to her to decide. If she decides to say, okay, it's financially viable for the club, they will stay. If she decides to say, no, it's better for us to sign new players and lose this one, it's up to her. Now, this is different from signing players. This is different from scouting. This is negotiation. This is where she is 100% responsible for negotiating new contracts. Her and the agents. Okay, when it comes to scouting, she is not. Scouting, she is not. Now it's between Marina and Rudiger's agent, Marina and Christensen's agent. They should sort this out.
All right.
They should sort this out.
I'm going to go to Boogeyman. Totally agree. I totally agree. And a good question by Bobby. Because, you know, I am more than happy, and I'm sure everybody on the panel is, more than happy to acknowledge a good deal if we are able to get Rudiger and Christensen to extend their contracts within a specific range. I mean, no one wants to see, the wage structure destroyed at Chelsea. Within a specific range, if Marina is able to get them to sign, we'll all be happy, and I'll be the first one to say well done to Marina. If she's able to do that. Before I go to Boogeyman, and then I'm going to go to Couch. I know Couch is waiting. I want to say big up to everyone in the chat, and I ask you to get to that 100 like mark. We're on 76. Gabriel with a super chat. What's Gabriel saying? Not long joined. Hope all is resolved amongst. Yes. Can't understand the Rudy affair. Therefore, the main force. Gabriel, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Everything is good. Like we said in the previous stream, we're a family on the Blue Lounge. Agree, disagree. End of the day, we're all a family. And this situation with Rudiger, it's baffling the hell out of us. It's one of those things that we want to see resolved ASAP. So again, Gabriel, big up to you, and thank you for the super chat. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Boogeyman, let me hear it.
So did Matt Law ever say how much Rudiger asked for? Did Matt Law say £200,000 per week in any of his?
No,
I haven't.
He only mentioned how much the club offer,
which was I think 175. The last offer they made. I think.
Yeah. My point is this: let's just forget about Lampard. Lampard is not part of the club. If Rudiger is still holding anything against Marina, because Marina was part of the decision 3 years ago that hold up the negotiation with Rudiger, then at the end of the day, then Rudiger can go. Because at this point, if Marina is there, Marina is not going to leave. Lampard is gone. So I think Rudiger also has to put a little bit of water in his wine and just at least relax a little bit about the decision. I'm not too sure if 200,000 a week is that much of money. I just want to go on the money side. So I just don't see Marina refusing paying Rudiger 200,000 a week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's way more than that what he's asking.
Where Rudiger is asking, right? Or because if that's the case that he only wants 200 and they cannot sign that contract, then that means Rudiger does not let this thing go. He has something against all the people that were part of the negotiation 3 years ago, or that hold his negotiation down a little. Then he just not gonna sign for Chelsea, and we find better put that in our mind that Rudiger is not gonna stay at Chelsea, and we just have to move on, right?
Boogie, I just want to tell you this. I don't think Marina has ever renewed a contract apart from Hazard to pay somebody 200. I'm not talking about new signing, but renewal, I don't think so. This Hazard was the only one. I don't think she is that. She's very, very. She's very hands-on with the book.
No, she got the James too. She got James. She got Trevor.
No. I'm talking about the amount.
The value.
Okay.
Kante. Kante was a Kante over 200. Isn't it?
Yeah, Kante is over 200.
Kante.
Yeah, it was Kante and Hazard. I think those are the only two. We don't.
No. Kante doesn't make
She got Callum Hudson-Odoi on a massive.
One second. One second. Value is irrelevant. If it is within a certain figure, I mean, it can be 200, it can be 210. If Rudiger is asking, because I'm reading in the chat, people are saying 300, 400, 350.
That's right. No one knows. That's what I'm saying. Nobody.
These figures.
That's why I was asking for Matt Law. If Matt Law has said anything. But.
Yeah, no, Matt Law hasn't. But there was a number reported way back, and I'm talking like months ago, that he was asking for 200. I've asked journalists. They're saying to me it's between 2 and 250. Okay, I've heard that he's been offered 175 by some journalists. They've told me this directly. The thing is this. If it's between 2 to 250, then that's understandable. If they're negotiating, understandable. But if he is asking for 300, 400, and Chelsea are refusing, to me, I have no problem with that. If Marina Granovkaia is not going to pay him 3 or 4, I have no problem with that, because that is a very big jump Firstly,
For me, 225 is the
So,
top.
MDT, let's just answer me this question. So let's say you are Rudiger. Let's pretend that you have some insight that we don't. But let's say you are Rudiger, and Lampard, Granovskaia, and other people from the ball has screwed you over, and now they're willing to take you to the club. They're willing to sign you. The willing is there. You'd say you're happy. So what would make you not sign a contract? Because I still don't get it. Because we all have a job. We all
Yeah,
work for people. I have I
yeah,
have a fight with my previous boss. I switch department and I have a new offer. I took because I know okay, I'm not gonna work with this bad environment. I don't want it. And when I switch, I sign any contract in the same company. I can do it. But I just don't
yeah.
understand why is holding Rudiger back at this point. He said he's happy. What's more than being happy?
Okay, let me answer this. Let me answer this hypothetically. Okay, let's say we have we're just negotiating. Okay, I'm 28. I want 4 plus 1, which will make me 33. Like Gary Kane.
You look older than
Like
28, man.
I don't.
Who are you kidding, man? Who are you kidding?
I want to be like what happened to Gary Cahill. What's his name? David Luiz. All the ones that I met there. How Chelsea give them the same contract. I want 4 plus 1. Okay, which will take me to my end of my career. Okay, but Chelsea don't mind paying you. Let's say they want to give you 3 plus 1. They don't mind giving you 200 at that 2 plus 1 rate. But when it's 4 plus 1, they want to reduce it to 175 or whatever it is. For these players, it's a big deal. So those are the little details. It's not like it will be a mountain of separation. It's about whether the club see you are worth that 200 or 4 plus 1, or they believe that if you want 3 plus 1, they can offer you 200. But if you want 4 plus 1, they will go 175. Okay, you see where these are the little details. It's nothing that then you will start getting upset to say, hang on a sec. You wanted to offer William 200 when he was 32, 2 years at that rate. So why? These are the little things that sometimes this player will come hang on a sec. And also, you treated me this way, and now you wanted to treat me lower than what you negotiated with other people that were in my position. So these are the things. Okay, Boogeyman, as much as you say you fight with your manager, if your manager treats somebody that negotiate the same deal that you want, and they wanted to hardball you or give you a lesser contract, how would you feel? It's simple. These are the things.
I think you try your best. Yeah, I understand. But I still think when the people that prevented you to sign your first contract are out of the way, then if you're dealing with other people or you feel like those people that you're dealing with they are good faith. If Marina say, okay, listen, Lampard is not in the picture anymore. He's not part of the equation at this point. Tuchel is part of the equation, and we valued you. We want you to stay unless you have some problem with Granovskaia. Then I will understand it. But if you
I just told you. Is the length. If the length is longer on the contract, Chelsea will offer you less money.
Yeah, but
if
guys,
it's shorter,
Rudiger is so valuable. But who here will say Rudiger is not as important as Kante? He is as important as Kante.
It's the club money. It's the money the club want to offer. It's nothing to do with value.
Boogie, we have a structure for contracts and the position you're playing. It affects what's your threshold in regards to what they're offering you. That's why strikers and attackers always get more because they're scoring goals. The guys at the back saving.
I can explain that. My mind
I'll come back.
different.
I'll come back to you, Alex. Unless your name is Kepa, then you're going to be getting a slight bump. But we'll come back. So that's where that comes in. I'm going to go to Couch and then I'll go to Alex. And then we will move to a different topic because we've got a couple more topics I want to discuss. So I'll hear from Couch, his final thoughts on this, and then we'll hear from Alex, and then we'll move to another topic. Go on, Couch.
Yeah, I still think that we're missing one major piece to this whole discussion.
Are you going to start us off on another path?
No, I hope not. I mean,
what are you talking about? I'm the missing piece.
Probably. You're the missing link, man. But
Let's hear it, Coach.
I'm kind of like thinking that what we're not really quite saying about this whole thing is the fact that because everyone's putting it on Lampard, it was Lampard, and Lampard. You go into a negotiation. Lampard may have been the one that said, "I do not want to sign this player," but it's the committee that takes the decision together whether or not they want to sign somebody or not. So now Rudiger and his agent are going into this discussion with Marina and her team, and they're like, "Listen, we're looking to move you right now, regardless of whether or not the dispute was started with Lampard. The committee has taken this decision as a whole. So now they're in a position where they're compromised in what they can do, because they're now going back to him saying, well, you know what? We've reviewed the situation, and you know what? You're actually very valuable to the squad. You're very valuable to this club. What is it going to take to sign you?" And he's going to say, well, you know what? I feel disrespected right now. I won the Champions League and whatnot. I feel disrespected right now. So now I want this number. If you cannot meet this 300, however much it is, like it could be 400,000, 300,000, 250,000. If you cannot meet these demands right here, right now, in this moment, then I'm going to wait until January and see what I'm worth on the open market. At that point, you can come back to me and say what you want to, what you're willing to offer me, when I can see what I'm actually what I'm actually worth on the open market. This is no different from from any other contract in football right now. Agents are now negotiating smaller deals for their clients. It's the same thing like Christensen. We may have offered him 5 years, and he understands that his earning power is probably 7 years. So to re-up after 2 years means that he can get more money later. So they're taking the gamble of not taking the guaranteed money of 5 years and basically going 2 years, 3 years, and then re-upping again. Mo, you're 100% right, 100% right on that. And I think that's the new. Just let me finish. This is like the new way of negotiating contracts. All agents are telling their clients to take smaller deals for more money. They're not looking for the longevity anymore in these deals. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, Coach. So you think Chelsea board of the financial board don't have an idea how much other club will offer Rudiger in January? They have to have some idea what's going on.
Well, I mean, finances right now are kind of all over the place, right?
It's
like we're seeing so many clubs, and who's interested too. Like, hold on. So many finances. Like we're looking at Barcelona, who's in disarray right now. We can say that Real Madrid is in disarray right now. Regardless of what they say they can do, they're in disarray. Okay. So then, who are the other big spenders? PSG, Bayern Munich, maybe, I don't know. They never really buy big. So what? Who can actually negotiate a fee that's going to?
But what I'm trying to say,
put
it doesn't
Chelsea in a
matter.
bidding war.
It doesn't really matter because let me say this fast. Mo, Kasim, and MDT have said that each club has structure. Defender know approximately where they're going to be. So I'm pretty sure in Barcelona we have an idea where the defenders are. In Real Madrid we have an idea where the defenders are. In Bayern Munich, all those big Juventus, we have an idea how much they're going to pay Chiellini and Delete all those people.
But with free agency, it throws a new wrinkle in, right? Because they don't have to negotiate a transfer fee now.
Exactly. So it's no point to even argue.
Chelsea thinks, you know what? You guys are forgetting this. Chelsea know they have an advantage, which I don't think it is crazy for them to even think that. But Chelsea have an advantage where they know that the players are attached to the club. David Luiz didn't sign his contract until is it May? Isn't it May? May? Yeah, May. He only have a month left. Yeah. So Chelsea are playing with the players' love for the club, and that's what they're holding on to. So they love the club, but I don't know whether that will be enough. So I don't know. So I don't know whether that will be enough for Christensen.
I'm gonna go to Alex. And Alex, I want you to address everything you just heard from Boogeyman, from everybody, and I want you to also address this question from Gabriel. Big up to Gabriel for the super chat. Thank you for your continued support. Gabriel is saying, could it be the fallout with Lampard that tarnished his reputation, Rudiger's reputation? So despite his pre and post Lampard consistency, they think he is replaceable. So Chelsea think Rudiger is replaceable because of what happened with Lampard. Is that a factor? So can you address that?
Yes,
as well as the
think,
other points raised
I
by
think
the
it
guys?
is. I think it is a factor. Always be a factor because everybody's replaceable. If we won the Championship League without Eden Hazard, we can do anything. Like everybody was like, remember when John Terry, Lampard, and Drogba left? Everybody was thought like, what the hell are we gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is the club? Because people don't know what we have until it comes. They think like, oh, it's the end of the world. Lampard retiring, John Terry retiring, Drogba retiring. It's not. It's really not. Rudiger's gone. Somebody else will come on. Before Rudiger, it was Gary Cahill. Everybody thought Gary Cahill was waste until Rudiger came. And all this kind of stuff, it keeps rotating and rotating and rotating. But one thing it is, if you misplace your money, you will end up like Barcelona. And we have actually more increased chances of becoming like Barcelona than actual Barcelona, because we are not as big as Barcelona. We're actually financially way less stable than Barcelona. So for us to play saying like, oh, 250, not 250, it's not that. It's literally not that. Another thing, when you negotiate contracts, MDT hit it right with it. When you're negotiating the contracts, it's always been offensive players better, get better paid. One difference between offensive versus defense get paid better bonuses when they score versus offense when they get bonuses for the goals. Defenders get higher bonuses because they don't score as much.
Clean sheet bonus as well. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, Rudiger situation, like we don't know, and I was saying we don't know. People think that it's club's fault that we're in a situation with Rudiger. I can see the reason why they think that, but you gotta think of that as towards like a year before that. I think Lampard was so, like I was saying, that Lampard is a manager is gonna be pain in the butt later, because I didn't see him coming in and do good, and all that relationship that he had with fans and everything, because it split us. The fan base was split when Lampard was a coach. Like somebody wanted him out, somebody wanted him to stay in, and I think that gap was what actually split Rudiger and the board. Another thing, the board of trustees actually come together, saying we're gonna renew it or not. Give the folder to Marina, and Marina will open up and saying, okay, here's your 4 years, here's the thing. This is how much we can afford you. That's it. There's nothing to it. What Rudiger can say, it's one thing. What Chelsea can afford, that's what we're gonna give you. If not, it's it.
True. Yeah. End of the day, Chelsea are not gonna they're not gonna do a deal that is gonna be unprofitable for us, because they're gonna balance it out, and they're gonna try to do the right thing by Chelsea rather than the right thing by the player. If they can do both, they will do both. But the club.
I think Bobby asked me a question before I came in, like why I call myself a redneck.
Yeah,
Bobby,
go ahead.
Are you still here?
Answer. Bobby's here.
Bobby, are you still here?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, that's the reason I came, because I was gonna take a nap, and when I heard that, I was like, I must come in and just answer it again.
Why would you do that?
Well, I was gonna take a nap before I'm gonna go play pickup. It was like I play every Wednesday and Friday and then Sunday on the Sunday league. Anyway, so I still play 3 times a week, by the way, and I do boxing. So all of you need to catch up because you look like, especially MDT.
Slow down there. I'm waiting for the COVID restrictions to be lifted for me to get back into my football. All right.
Anyway, so the reason why I call myself
take it easy with that ear and boxing.
I'm here.
The other,
yeah, that's the reason I actually think I have lost. I think that's the reason. So the reason I call myself a redneck, because I have a kids in the background. I'm sorry. I'm originally Russian. I moved to South Carolina. That's why I'm calling myself a redneck. It's like a sarcastic way, because I live in South Carolina, which is considered South. So that's why I call myself a redneck. But
It's all good,
there's
bro. It's all good.
yeah. I was wondering because some people like I was thinking like it was gonna offend some people or not and stuff like that.
No.
So I just didn't like. It's not that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just sarcastic.
Sure.
Nah,
Hey
it's
Mo,
all
I
good.
I gotta quickly go pick up my kid. Are you okay to take over for the stream right now? Is
Yeah,
can I leave it in your hands?
I'll handle it. I'll handle it. I'll manage. I'll manage. Cheers, Couch.
I must
Take care,
say,
brother. Take care,
Alex's conclusion was quite comprehensive. You know, it's good to
Yeah.
debate, but the conclusion was very comprehensive. And ultimately, it's only time that will tell. Really, I think by December, January, we'll get a clearer picture.
Definitely.
All the best, fellas.
I actually
Take
think
care,
March.
Couch.
I think
talk.
in March.
Have a
That's
good
when
one.
we're
Take
gonna
care,
find
brother.
out. I
See you
think
later.
March. March is usually when Chelsea
Guys.
does the negotiation.
Guys. We are literally we are kind of close. We're kind of close. We got 86 likes. Come on, guys. 14 away from 100. Let's get it. What's your spine? Rudy has shown he can't.
You were going to talk about Thiago and Aspi.
I tried. I inserted them in, but you guys seem to forget about them. I'm trying to understand what Gabriel said here. What's our spine? Rudy has shown he can. Listen. Our spine right now is
Thiago.
I would say Christensen, Rudiger in midfield. In defense. Kante, Jorginho, Kova, and then you got Lukaku, Havertz. You know what, Gabriel? Our spine is still relatively fresh, relatively new. I mean, we're talking about the spine, because Chelsea always had a really, good spine, but those players were there for years. So it's still developing. But Thiago, Christensen, Kante, all these players, they are the shout for the spine. And Gabriel, man, stop donating, man. You're 12 quid already. That's enough, man. That's enough. Just regular chat. I'll look out for you and I'll put it up on the screen, man. Don't be donating, man. There's too much.
Donate for Rudiger's salary.
Yeah. Always good to have Gabriel in the chat. Listen, guys, we've got two. Hey, Julius is in the house. I didn't see him there. Big up to Julius. Welcome to the stream.
Big up, everyone. Thanks, Mo.
How are you? How you been, man? I didn't see you. Were you waiting for long?
No, maybe 2 minutes. No, it's okay.
Oh, I didn't see you, man. Well, welcome to the stream. We have two more topics. We've got Barkley and we've got Saúl Ñíguez. I'm going to leave Barkley to the end because I think that's a straightforward topic. But Saúl Ñíguez, there's two conflicting stories. One, I think it's from Matt Law. And Matt Law has said that Saúl Ñíguez is going to stay and fight for his place at Chelsea Football Club. He wants to be a part of the squad and he wants to use the time that is left to impress Tuchel and to become a full-time, a proper Chelsea player. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what Matt Law was saying. Now, there's other reports coming out of Spain and Italy that are linking Saúl Ñíguez with a move to Juventus out on loan, I think in January, if I'm not mistaken. So, Chelsea, I mean, for that to happen, Chelsea will either send him back or for Atletico Madrid to recall him and then to push him out on loan to in that direction. Now, there's fees, there's monies that are involved in this, so I'm not sure how accurate that story is. I want you guys to address the first part of the story. The fact that he might be going to Juventus, that we'll wait to get more concrete information on that. But the fact that he could be fighting to stay and cement his position at the club, do you guys think he has that within him? Is he able to win the club over, to win us, the fans over, in respect to Saúl Ñíguez? We'll talk about Barkley after that. So I want to give this about 20 minutes. So since Julius just came in, I might as well give him the honor of going first. Julius, do you want to see Saúl Ñíguez fighting for his position? Do you want to see Saúl Ñíguez staying at Chelsea? Do you think he can convince us that he's good enough? What's your thoughts on that?
Cute.
Very
So,
cute.
Of course, I want to see him fight for his place. I think there's still a lot of games and a lot of time for him to prove himself. At the end of the day, I know Matt Law is very reliable, but it doesn't matter what Saul Niguez wants at the end. It's what we want or what Tuchel wants or the club wants. So it's at the end of the day, it's up to Saul Niguez to prove himself and be a part of the first team. I really can't see him pushing any of our midfielders away, to be honest. But none of us here would be sad to see Saul completely smashing teams with us and like performing at the highest level. We'll take it. But I don't see him being with us next season. I don't think he would be. He's not. From what I've seen so far, he's a bang average player. Not Premier League level. I think the Premier League doesn't suit him in a way, and Tuchel will not probably use him past this year. But who knows? Of course, I would love to see him compete and prove himself. I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. Max, me and you were quite excited about this guy coming to Chelsea. Didn't pan out the way we thought it was going to. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, as I said before in the previous stream, I was quite the main reason I was excited is because we're getting him on. We weren't paying anything for him, so it wasn't a big risk. So if it didn't work out, then we could just send him back with no harm done. Apart from obviously the wages that he's on, I'm not sure how much it is, but it's any time you're getting a player coming in from a new country, they have to adjust to the pace of the Premier League. This guy unfortunately didn't hit the ground running. I think it started from the Villa game. As soon as he got the ball, they put somebody on him and they were closing him and pressing him, and he kept losing possession. We've seen slight improvements with him in the League Cup match, where attacking wise he showed a little bit about him, but still sort of off the ball. He was a bit off the pace again. But and as I said before as well, the emergence of Ruben Loftus-Cheeks and people like that, they've pushed him down the pecking order. Even Ross Barkley, so he's way down the pecking order now. And it depends what he's doing in training. Well, I heard something the other day actually that Tuchel was quite impressed with how he was doing in training. He was getting used to the pace of the Premier League. So I think it will be a bit rash to get rid of him in January, because we don't know with injuries. If you look at our injury record, Kante's getting more and more injuries at the moment. The other day we had 3 or 4 times we've had 2 goalkeepers on the bench because of injuries. Yeah, and the games are going to be coming thick and fast. We've got the World Club Cup. Although we've got no one apart from Mendy in the African Cup of Nations, so we won't really be affected by that. But with the World Club Cup coming in, the FA Cup, remember, is going to be coming in, and then you've got the Champions League. So if we make it far in a lot of competitions, and there's more chance of players getting injured. So I still think that we are a body light in midfield if he does go. Even though we've got quite a few players, we'll still be a body light if he goes. I'll keep him on to the end of the season, because you never know, he may start to get used to the pace in the Premier League, and he may come good. But so, yeah, I wouldn't be too rash in getting rid of him, to be honest.
Do you think he has it? He has it within him to impress?
Maybe. As I said, what we're looking at somebody who's come in and is not settled into the league. That's not to say he's a bad player. I always look at players back in the day, like Thierry Henry took 13, 14 games before he looked in place in the Premier League, and he became a legend. Robert Perez, Arsenal fans were shouting for him to go in his first season. He played 7 seasons there and 7 excellent seasons for them.
Gundogan 3 seasons at Man City before he started.
Even Gundogan wasn't really. Yeah, exactly. So for me to say, because he hasn't hit the ground running and he hasn't got used to the pace of the Premier League that he's a waste of money. It's for me. It's just too early to say.
Too early.
But yeah, as I said, I think on your stream the other day, my only reservation is how easy it was for Atletico to let him go this season. Obviously, he's been off the pace a little bit already in the Spanish league, so maybe he's lost a bit of form, lost a bit of confidence, and that's why they were so quick to let him go. Because he was one of their mainstays, wasn't he? Last couple of seasons ago, he was one of the first names on the sheet, but then he was out of favour. I think it was MDT or somebody else said that he was playing in different positions. They were using him more for utility man, and that's probably affected his confidence as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Regarding this comment by Brian, I think this is a different position. I think Gallagher will probably be competing more up the pitch with the likes of Ziyech, Barkley, Mason Mount, and those lads. But Gallagher is definitely going to be throwing his hat in the ring next season. Boogeyman, what's your thoughts on Saúl Ñíguez?
I think when Saul first came here, I was also asking the same question Max described a few seconds ago. Why any Atletico fan frustrated with the move? They all seem to be okay. Good luck at Chelsea. He has been going through a lot of hardship with Atletico the last 2 years. And they wish him all the best. So I've never heard any Atletico fan be like, why he's moving to Chelsea. That was also my first concern. But saying that, I think his salary, his wages is the one that is concerned me and make me a little think about my position when it comes to him. But at 30 million for transfer fee, I think it is a risk worth taking because still, like Max has said, player from other league like Spain and Italy and even German, they take a year and a half to adapt themselves and actually showing what they're capable of. And midfield is one of the most complicated positions. You have to be fast. You have to be good with the ball, and it requires a little bit of stress than you know yourself. So I think Saul will come good, and we have a lot of games. If Chelsea win the league again this season, we will be in Champions League, we will be in European Cup, we will be in all those things. And we have two players, Jorginho and Kante, that are injury prone. Kante and Kovačić, that are injury prone. And I think if Saul come good, we should keep him. And in the worst case scenario, he's 28. We can sell him at 29 when she's 29 or 30 for 18 million. Like I think like we sold who did we sell last time for 18 million? I don't know. Anyway, we can still recoup our money. So I don't see the problem of keeping him. I think we should keep him. Whether Gallagher come or Billy Gilmore, why not? Chelsea is a big team. We should be able to have 6 midfielders that are top that we can use every time we play any competition. And it's good for the coach. It's good for the quality of the team. And everybody has to raise their game to be in a starting 11. So I think it's good for the club. For me, anyways, that's how I think. I think he should stay.
All right. I'm gonna put a little twist to it, and I'm gonna address it to Bobby slightly differently. Bobby, with the current set of midfielders we have, and this is if there's an if here, if Saúl Ñíguez starts to show some of the form that he has shown in the past, and he starts to impress, if he starts to do that. Bobby said 30 million is a reasonable price for a player of his quality, of his ability. Sorry, I meant Boogeyman. You know what? I've actually mixed you guys up on many occasions today via messaging. It's the beer, man. So, my train of thought. smashed to bits. What was I say? Yeah, so we have a lot of options when it comes to midfielders. There's other players that have been discussed: Declan Rice, Tchouameni, and a bunch of others. If we do go in for Saul Niguez for 30 million and bring back Gilmour, bring back Gallagher, maybe sell a couple of others, would you be content? Or do you still want us to be going for that Tchouameni, Declan Rice player target?
I'm going to break this response into two sectors.
Right.
One is this season, two is going forward after
Cool.
this season. This season, like Boogeyman and Max, I do believe in your stream, one of the things I had said was, I was very suspicious as to the ease with which Atletico Madrid let Saul Niguez go. These top Spanish clubs, even in crisis, are not keen to let go of their best players if he was indeed one of their best players, and it proved that there were problems. Having said that, I think in the last stream, I was quite ready to pay his fee back to Spain. But I don't mind coming back on myself about a player and looking at it. He's not a finished project. And as far as this season is concerned, it makes no sense taking a player on who, as everyone has pointed out, clearly hasn't fitted into the Premier League yet, and just offloading him in January. That's just way too reactionary. We have to let it run its course and see whether indeed he's capable of fighting for his place, and I hope he does. A strong Niguez is a stronger Chelsea midfield that we really need. Now, going on to the next season and the 30 million buyout clause or buy clause, Boogeyman mentioned concern about his wages. I personally feel that I would be surprised if we buy him at 30 million and sustain the wage deal that he has now on loan. I would suspect that will go down considerably. It will be part of the deal, and it will be up to him whether he wants to sign or not. If he has a blinding season and recovers form, I can't see him not signing whatever we give him. So as far as him fitting in with some of the returning loanees, I can almost hang my hat on the fact that Billy Gilmour is not coming back from loan next season. Because of what's happened at Norwich. He's going to need more time because he's not. I mean, let's say it as it is. He's not good enough yet. He might have been if he hung around, but that's gone. He hasn't hung around. He's gone away, and he has to take that loan route, which will take him a couple of years at least. Now, Conor Gallagher has had his couple of years, indeed 3 years, and so I think he is ripe for a return and to fight for his place. The issue there will be an issue between Barkley and Niguez. That's as I see it. I think the midfielders we have are pretty much stable. We may lose one or one, no more than that. Within the stable ones, we may not. But the battle for that place within the midfield squad will be between Barkley and Niguez. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. If he does well enough, he'll take it. If he doesn't, he won't. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I think the other targets that we are talking about, I think for next season, it's not a midfielder that we need at the club. Other positions could be addressed, wing backs, centre backs, maybe a striker. But midfielders, I think we are pretty stacked, and I think we have a lot of options.
Assuming we keep our defenders.
Assuming we keep our defenders. Defense is the issue. Now, there is one player that could potentially be on the way out. And it's not really because of him. It's more because of where his agent tends to talk about, every time we get to a transfer window, and that's Jorginho. his agent starts giving it all of this whenever we get to a transfer window, and something might kick off. Hopefully not, because I think Jorginho is one of those players that we were talking about in being a spine player. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. I want to hear from MDT and then Alex, and then we'll open the discussion to everyone for about 15 minutes. MDT, Boogeyman, I'll come back to you once we finish with the MDT and Alex. Bobby,
before you move on, please.
Else? Yeah, go on.
Please, before you move on, there's a madness that is Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah.
What club on this planet starts to dismantle a team on the cusp of creating a legacy?
It's a nonsense. Like, every time I look at it, I was like, why do we get to this point with like that much mess? Why would we put ourselves in this situation anyway?
We did it before. We did it before.
I know we did.
When we won the double. Remember when we won back to back?
Yeah, we see what happened.
But why do
for a long time?
Why do it again?
Listen,
why do it again?
I don't understand this whole thing. I'll let people that know about it talk about it.
We'll address that. We'll address all of that towards the latter part of the stream. Go on, Mo.
With Saul, I was surprised when everybody was saying, "Oh, he's gonna play two in the midfield." I'm like, I've watched this kid since he was 19. I've never seen him play two. He was always like covering up, like when they're chasing the game. He always play in three. When he play in the midfield, he was the attacking one, or else he play like where Mount is playing or whatever, behind the striker, because he's a goal scorer. So I don't understand where people get this idea for. And maybe Tuchel thought he would change. But at Atletico, he wasn't the two. He was Koke and this Rodri. Rodri at Manchester City before he left.
Yes.
And then, after then, I don't understand where people go. He's not that ball retainer. He's more of an attacking guy. I believe he's playing at his wrong position. If you play him up top, he will score goals. That's what I mean. That's what I keep telling people. He's more like Dele Alli, not this Jorginho, not Kova. He's more like Dele Alli. He's a goal-scoring midfielder. That's what he's good at. He's not good at dribbling. He's not good at. He's a runner. Time is run and he shoot the ball. So that's why I was surprised when people are surprised that he under pressure, when he hold the ball, he's dispossessed. He's never played. That's not the role he playing in Spain, even the national team. So maybe Tuchel is a genius, think that he will change him like he did to Rudin or whatever. But I've never seen Saul play this way. I think Saul is playing at his wrong position. If you put Saul at the top like he used to do for Atletico, he would perform. At Atletico, the reason why he struggled, they move his position like the same thing. They move him into the midfield to play more with the ball. He struggled. And they took him to wing back. He struggled. But because of João Felix was there, he couldn't play in his favorite position he wanted to play. That's what happened at Atletico. And Chelsea too, if we want to see the best of Saul, where we want him to play, that's not his position. His position where he did the damage.
His best position is in Spain.
Yeah, his best position is up a little bit further up. That's where. For me, Chelsea to spend 32 million, 34 million on Saul, when you have Saul type of player in your academy, which is free, you can pay them 20, you're paying them already 10,000 a week. Why would you even sign Saul even if he's 7 million? Especially it's over 10 million a year. So for me, this kind of signing 26. By the time he adjusts on the Premier League, he'll be 28. Keep him this season because we need numbers. But next season, hasta luego. Gracias, amigo.
All right. Adios, carnales. Alex.
Here's my thought about Saul. If he's leaving in January, that's because what's his name? We're gonna disrupt the loan for what's his face, Billy Gilmore. If Billy Gilmore comes back in January, that means that Saul, we're gonna break that contract and send Saul, unless Barkley goes on loan or looks like he's going to Newcastle, then we're gonna keep Saul. But I don't think we're gonna keep him behind the summer. He's gone in the summer no matter what. That's the reason why we didn't buy him in the first place, or obligated to buy. The only reason we had him is because we needed temporary fix and we weren't ready to buy it. So that's on that. Next year, we get well, to be truthful, I never liked Jorginho, so he can pack the bags and go too. If we get Declan Rice, not for 100 million, but I will take Declan Rice for 60. Let's say that way. And Gilmore, for example, Gilmore and Declan Rice in the back, and what's his name, Mount and Gallagher up front. Hey, Cobham reunited. We're gonna win the whole thing again next year.
All right. Fair point. Go on, Boogie.
Someone asked, I think from the chat, what is the spine of Chelsea team? And I think everybody cited Jorginho in that list be part of the spine. So when Redness said Jorginho also can pack his bag, his luggage, and leave, just know that Jorginho is one of the most important players in our team at this point. And the other question
now, yes.
Yeah, the other question I was going to ask is, do anyone know how much years Jorginho has left on his contract, the actual contract? 2 more years. So that means next season he will have 1 year, and if his agent is playing the same game, we will have to sell him. And he's one
exactly
of,
this summer.
So I think they need to start thinking about renew Jorginho, but because Jorginho is probably going to be sold for 60, 70. But if we waited,
are you kidding me? No, he's not.
He will be.
No.
Why not? Anyways, he's not going to be sold for 15, that's for sure, or 20. It's probably going to be 60 or 50, right?
He's not getting sold for 60 at his age, no. He's getting 40 at the most, 40 at the very most.
You think so?
40 million is the most.
He's not getting for more than 40.
No. But if he only get 1 year left on his contract, probably not going to sell it for 40 either. So probably he's going to go for 18 million or something like that. So I think it's time also for our board to prolong Jorginho contract. The other thing I would like to say about Saul Niguez is that Tuchel knows the best position of Saul Niguez then, but just listen to MDT, because if you think Saul Niguez will be better playing as a support for our 2 attacker or playing close to their strikers, does Tuchel think the same thing? Because the last 2 games that Saul played, he is always playing as a second pivot. He played with Loftus-Cheek and he played with, I think, who else? And he always played as a second pivot, right? So I'm not too sure if Tuchel is using Saul the way he should, or I'm not too sure what Tuchel wants from him. So that was my 2 questions for the other question for MDT. Do you think Tuchel is using Saul in the wrong position, or you just think Tuchel is trying to...
Personally, I think Tuchel think he can do with like what he did with Loftus. But the problem with Loftus, they've been playing this way since they were kids at the academy, so it's different. Okay, but with Saul's best position since he was young, when he break into the Atletico team doing wonders, he was up. He was up like further forward. That's where he does his best damage and everything. So for me, I don't know, maybe Tuchel expecting more from him, and maybe he can do it. I don't know, but I've never seen him do it. Not for Atletico, not for Spain. So maybe he will surprise me. That's what I mean. But I've never seen him have his greatest season. People are talking about those goals he scored against Bayern Munich. Where did he score the goals? Exactly. He's in that position where Mount and Kaya are playing. Even Atletico, he was playing behind Griezmann and behind, what's his name? What's the other striker? When Costa went back, Morata, those are the roles he played. He was a supporting guy, the link between midfield and attack. He was never the guy that carried the ball or whatever. He was the guy that do the nicking the ball, like Kante does towards the opposition half. That's the kind of thing he's good at. But you give him a ball to build up a play, it's like if you play Kante in Jorginho's role. That's how he's like.
Yeah, but then he tends to lose the ball all the time also, though. So I don't think he's going to be good being behind the striker if you keep losing the ball.
I know. He's not careful with the ball. That's not the way he plays. That's the thing. He's not a typical Spanish player. That's why everybody thought he would do well in England, because it's more like this Dele Alli type of play. You understand? always don't care about the ball, take shots, things like that. He's not a typical Spanish player. He's not a Spanish type player. So that's why I was surprised when Chelsea fans were celebrating. I'm like, do they watch YouTube highlights or FIFA? That's why they're celebrating this guy. I was surprised because he's not that top what people think. He's a good scoring midfielder. That's what he's good at. Not to create, not to like a build-up play, not to create for others or things like that. And he loses the ball. He loses the ball a lot for a Spanish player. Okay, because in Atletico, Koke is the one that controls the midfield, not Saul.
But that's what excited me about him, the fact that he got goals from midfield, and that's what I wanted to see from him, because we were, that's what we remember, we were lacking the goals from that department last season, and that's why I think myself. I think when I was Greenberg, that's the one thing what excited me. It's the fact that where someone who could take long shots, he's great in the air as well. He can get into those positions, and he's a decent finisher. So I thought if he could give us that impact,
that's why I have problems with Jorginho.
Max called him Kovačić plus goal. I remember that.
Yeah. No, his dribbling skills, taking a man on. He even looked like he had press resistance. Well, obviously he doesn't, but he looked
in
like
Spain
he did.
he can. Yeah, but remember, Spain's a slower league in here.
So, guys,
I
I want to address the final story because I literally have 5 minutes left. I want to address the final story, and that is Barkley. I mean, it's really linked to this story because Ross Barkley apparently is on his way out. A lot of clubs are interested. Excuse me. A lot of clubs are interested in the man. Newcastle, Everton, a whole bunch of clubs are interested in Barkley. Now, Ross Barkley is a player we tried to sell at the start of the season, but we couldn't get anyone to buy him because he had issues on the pitch, off the pitch. He had issues. He didn't, he had injuries. But recently, his performances for Chelsea, in my opinion, I know people disagree. In my opinion, have been very good. The roles that he's had to play, the task that he's been asked to perform, he's done it. He's not perfect. He's not the best midfielder or the best.
He proved me he can play more. He can prove me he can play more than 20 minutes.
And he's direct, and his approach is very direct, which is very, very important when it comes to breaking teams down, especially when you have to score. Now, in my opinion, Ross Barkley will fetch a good price, but do we need to sell him, or could we afford to sell him in January, or should we wait until the summer? Because
January.
Selling him right now could have repercussions, especially since we have a long season ahead of us. So, I mean, Alex has jumped the gun and he's saying January. What do you guys think?
It links to the Saul thing. If Saul stays, then we can probably get. But if Saul goes, then we can't get rid of Saul and Barkley in this window. What I would say though is I heard the 25 million price from Newcastle. 25 million for every other club who wants him, yeah. But if Newcastle going for him, I'll say 50 million.
50.
So let's fleece him like they used to. Other teams used to.
Remember, Max, months ago. Remember, Max, I told you that Barkley is gonna go to Newcastle. Like when you said that, when I said that Conte. Remember, I told you that when Newcastle became rich, I told you that.
Yeah.
As
Barkley
Chelsea,
is the first on the list.
As Chelsea now becomes some kind of feeder club, what are we talking about? This
Feeder.
person go, this person go, this person go, this person go.
Yeah.
So who's going to stay?
I'm coming. See, I'm already driving.
Who did we say was going, Bobby? Bobby, who did you say is going?
Barkley, Rudiger, Christensen, although those are very much on the
It's
fence.
not feeders. Those two are totally different because they're contracts. It's about contracts. But with the Barkley situation, he's just, when you think, probably another masterstroke by our manager Tuchel. Actually, let's get him playing, put him in the shop window. The interest has been regenerated, and so now there's teams after him. There's about 6 teams who are after him because of his performances.
I wouldn't sell him before the summer. They're going to need him.
You just said exactly what I keep saying. Chelsea, when we take a player, even our youth player, we played them a couple of times. Their value skyrocket. So that's what I mean. Even sending them on loan, I don't get it. Play them 2, 3, 4, 5 times. If you have to sell them for 1 million, automatically a team will come and buy them for 10 million. Liverpool did that to us. They took Solanke and they sold him for 18 million. They took that, what's his name, the guy that they sold to Sheffield Wednesday as well. The same thing.
Brewster.
Yeah, Chelsea should be playing. Like Barkley, look, 3-4 games, the value skyrocketed. 10 million we would have gotten this summer. All of a sudden, the value have skyrocketed. Look at what happened with Tamori. What's his name? Tammy Abraham. Play a footballer in your top team. The value increases. Real Madrid has been doing this for years. The loan is good, but play the team. If a player can play for Chelsea, any team below Chelsea will think that if this player can get into Chelsea's first team, they can do it for us. Automatically, you can negotiate a bigger price.
How many more years Barker has in his contract?
Not many. I think about two.
Two at the end of after this. In this summer, he's gonna have 2 more years. After
And
this year.
we all here have played football before. If someone took your number and gave it to your another player on the field and you see it, that's a big humiliation. I don't think Barkley would
I really didn't care about the number. I never cared about the number.
Oh, then maybe me. You don't take my number, give it to someone, and you expect me to just stay in that team. I will just
It
walk
depends
out.
what number it is.
So
I never cared about the number.
for me, the fact that Barkley was even put on the transfer list till the last minute and he stayed as a professional is an humiliation for him. So I don't think Barkley is there to stay at Chelsea.
But
He
to be
will
fair, to be fair to him, Boogeyman, he has handled himself better than any of us could have expected.
It doesn't matter.
But you know what? There's another important factor as well, which is that
We
got
bought
the
him for
World Cup.
15 million.
Yeah.
That's the important
18,
factor.
18.
Yeah, but we've also got the World Cup
50.
coming up, and if he
18.
feels that he can, get back to, remember he was in the England squad up until a couple of seasons ago, and we've got the World Cup coming up. If he feels that he can go into a side, and he's got the confidence now from playing in a couple of games at Chelsea. If he feels he can come in and get to that form that he was at before, and playing, he's not going to. Obviously, let's be realistic. He's not going to. He's going to have a bit part role at Chelsea at the moment. He can go into another club, play a few games, and try and work his way back into
I don't think he see himself there at Chelsea. Probably he's just, if there is an offer coming in January, he will leave. If not, he will leave in
January the
in the
2nd.
in the summer transfer. Or he will not I'm pretty sure he's not gonna make anything easy for Chelsea after what he's been through with us.
He's gone to Newcastle. Newcastle's gonna buy him. It's 100%.
Yeah, but I don't
But
think we
he
sell him
needs
for 50
midfielders.
million to Newcastle.
If we sell him for 15, we already made a profit.
No, Newcastle, I said minimum of 35.
Yeah.
No, 40 million. I want 40 million.
We're going to sell
Barkley
the
is a 40 million player.
We can.
with a year contract. With
I
one
like-
more year
Hold on.
contract.
I like you, Max. I really
Hold
like
on,
your
hold on.
business
Hold on.
ideas.
Guys. Alex told us he's taking his kids to the park. Alex,
Yeah.
you forgot your kids at home, man. There's
I
nobody in
know.
the back seat.
I
Where was
didn't
your
say.
kids?
I didn't say I take my kids to the park. I said I take myself to the park.
Oh,
I'm going to play.
my bad.
I'm going to play football.
My bad.
I'm
bad,
on my way to
Is
play
that
football.
boxing gloves. What's next to the boxing gloves? Is that a clock or something?
Stethoscope.
A stethoscope, right?
Yeah, I was thinking, man, listen, I'll wait for about 20 minutes and I'll tell him we'll have to make a U-turn and go back and pick up the kids.
No,
Hey,
I'm
listen,
pulling in the
guys.
park where we play.
It's been a fantastic stream. It's been a very, very good stream. Really enjoyed it. 2 hours and a half. I'm disappointed in my co-hosts. They didn't really use them tools. Them tools, guys. I gave you them tools. You didn't use them.
I'll send you another email
Boogie
address,
try.
and then
You should have sent. You should have sent instructions like tools for dummies.
I did.
Actually, to be fair to him, he
I
sent
sent-
everything. I just didn't read it properly.
Yeah. I sent videos.
Because I
sent
see him
instructions.
looking at some stuff, especially Boogeyman. He was looking at some pieces of plastic, pieces of metal. I was like, "What is he doing?"
No,
Don't worry
that was
about it.
that was
Had
different.
nothing to do
That was
with it.
different.
I was
That's
checking
different.
other
That's
stuff.
different. Yeah,
he's meant to be
guys,
working. You see, he's skiving. He's on the stream instead of working.
Guys, you know what? International break is boring. international break is boring. And I
Hate
think
it.
we need to be doing something for the community on a daily basis. So I will continue to stream daily. Now, I was supposed to be involved in a new venture. I was supposed to start a new job, but things didn't go too well. So I'm going to be available to stream daily for throughout the international break. So as and when there is topics and there is discussion that needs to be made, we will be making it on the Blue Lounge. We will try to stream every day. There will be a Q&A coming up in the next couple of days, I reckon, if there's nothing major. I think the Q&A sessions have been quite positive on this channel. Really enjoyed them. Some good interaction from the people in the chat. Big up to Couch Critic, who was here earlier. Big up to Bobby, Boogeyman, Max, Alex, MDT, and Julius. Big up to everyone who's taken part. Have I forgotten anybody? Did anybody come in and I think that's it.
I'm
I
showing
said
you
Couch,
our
I said Couch
field.
first.
And again, I'll just really say, get well soon to DJ.
DJ Sav. I'll be messaging him.
What is
Hopefully.
it? Cold or I didn't see anything. What was it?
Yeah, he said he was in bed with a cold, but he was listening in, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Remember, he said his wife was ill yesterday. He's probably picked up the same bug.
Yeah.
And what is the weather in the UK at this point? It was rain.
It's
Was
quite
It's
nice.
not bad. It's about
It's quite nice.
14, autumnal. Yeah.
Oh,
that's not
Oh,
too
come
bad.
on, it
It's not
depends where you
too
live. You guys, it depends where you live. I live up north.
north. It always rains where you are, MDT.
Yeah. if you ask MBT, he'll tell you it's cold, it's foggy, it's
But
raining.
mind you, they did have a better summer than we did this year. This is the first time for years because I worked with some colleagues in Manchester and places like that, and when I said it was cold, it's lovely and sunny down there. Up here, sorry.
No.
Yeah, so they did
Yeah,
offer.
but Max, you know what? What you guys call cold and what we call cold are different. So sometimes when you guys say it's cold, we're looking at it, nah, that's not cold. So that's it. If you come up north, you might think, what's wrong with you guys?
But
I've
Russians
been-
think
I've
it's
been
cold.
to-
It's completely different what you think, MDT.
A night out in Newcastle. I've been to Newcastle
I'm from
for a
Yorkshire.
night. Yeah.
MDT, I'm from Yorkshire, so I grew up in Yorkshire, so I know what cold is all about. I know what cold is all about. So not too far from you. Not too far from me.
Yeah, I said you
All
go
right,
to
people.
Newcastle, then you know what cold. You know they don't know what cold
Yeah,
is.
Newcastle. That's different. That's like a different planet, man. It's like
I'm shivering. The girls are running around in miniskirts. I'm thinking, what's going on?
half. Yeah. All right, people. What outro shall we have? Premier League outro. Should I do? Yeah, I'll do the regular outro. Guys, take care of yourselves. I'll probably see you tomorrow night. Have a good one. Peace.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.